And now, a dramatic reading of a 5-star review. We asked for these, and I want to be really clear before I do this. This is a 5-star review of the Nerdy Wordy Book Club on iTunes. No, not iTunes. It's Apple Podcasts. They don't call it iTunes anymore, which I think is personally silly.
All right.
Do you have any feelings? About that? Do you have feelings about the iTunes app? No?
No, I don't care.
When I said that I would read whatever you wrote in these, I meant it. Girl stops making out and asks boy to get Pop-Tarts. He does. Den girl takes deep breath. Den girl says, BF, I am pregnant. Will you stay my BF? And he says, no. Girl is hurt broken. Broken heart emoji. Girl cried and runs away from boy without eating Pop-Tart. And she has low blood sugar. So she foils. Boy runs over to her. She dead. Boy cry. I said I no be your BF, 'cause I wanna be your husband. He screams and throws Pop-Tart at Woyle. A beautiful diamond ring was in Sid. Lick this if you cry. Ever Tim. That review is courtesy of Something Diff. So, thank you so much for writing that on the Apple Podcasts review page and giving us 5 stars.
Hell yeah.
You too can make me say something ridiculous on this podcast by writing it in a 5-star review.
Yep, and you too can also like this video if you cry every Tim.
Yes, please like this video if you cry ever Tim.
Exactly. Smash that like button.
There's a couple of other really funny reviews, and we will get to them week by week. We had to do that one because I was opening up looking what I was going to talk about today, and I saw that, and I was like, "This is so funny."
Yeah,
I haven't watched that video in years.
I didn't even know it was a video. I just knew it was a meme around the internet.
Yeah, I was shocked you had never seen it before.
Yeah, but now I have seen it. So, yeah. Yay!
Good morning, everybody. Welcome back to the Nerdy, the Wordy.
The Book Club.
That's right. My name is Nerdy Nightly.
And I'm Claris Polaris.
And we are here to talk about The Lord of Chaos, Chapter 12 through Chapter 20. Wow, that is a thick book.
We are more than halfway through.
That you could hear how thick The Lord of Chaos is in the way you smacked its bottom like that.
Yeah,
you just spanked it. Like
I think
Robert Jordan characters
would be proud. Yeah.
Spank each other.
I think he would be very proud.
Before we get into the show today, we do have some housekeeping, as always, that we like to get through at the top of the show. The first thing being that this week's podcast is sponsored by Audible. Audible is a service that allows human beings to talk into microphones and then sell the sounds that they made as books that were written by other people. They also have some other things that aren't just books. You know, we always talk about the audiobooks on Audible, but today, actually, The Sandman, the Netflix adaptation of Neil Gaiman's classic comic book, one of my favorite comics of all time, comes out. We're going to be doing reactions. Stick around the channel, maybe subscribe. However, it is also important to remember that Audible has been dropping some Sandman audio dramas. That are a different way to get into that world. So if you're into some audio dramas, maybe not necessarily an audio book, you can also find those over at audibletrial.com/nerdynightly. Again, that's audibletrial.com/nerdynightly. Get yourself a free audiobook on us, 30 free days of Audible for basically any device that can play sound.
Yeah. If you have speakers, you're good to go. I like Mike's comment. They're orally delicious.
They are orally delicious.
Yes. Audible. If you want to download Eye of the World and cringe every time the reader says Tarvalin.
Yeah, you've been listening to the audiobook of Eye of the World. How is that? How do you feel about it?
It's weird. It's strange.
I really don't like Tarvalin.
Yeah, that one throws me off. I cannot wait to get into all the pronunciations. And here's the thing. I don't care. I'm probably going to continue saying them the way that I say them, unless I like the other pronunciation better. But, like, some of them, I'm like, no. Incorrect. Anyways, Audible.
Yeah, you know it's
It
the one
exists.
the one I'm never gonna change.
What?
Is Semirag.
Yeah.
I've never called her
It's
Semirag.
Semiraj.
It's Semiraj. It's so much cooler.
So much cooler.
We've dropped the H though. We did drop the H. Because Semiraj is not as cool as Semiraj. Semiraj sounds like a nightmare that chases you in the desert.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Like a mirage.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But it's a Semiraj.
It's
It's a
almost
mirage
there.
of a samurai in the desert. Coming this fall to Shudder, the horror streaming service. Semiraj.
great. Why would a samurai be in the desert?
Because it's a mirage. It's not real, but it kills you anyway.
Cool.
With
Love
precision.
That. With precision.
We've been having some fun. We've been making some jokes. I am sorry. I am
No.
going to swerve this podcast a little bit into the serious for a moment because
moment.
there was an unfortunate incident that took place this week for a member of the larger Wheel of Time community. And that is a member of the Wheel of Time community, Brian, also known as Rakapa Sadai, had a pretty terrible fall and is dealing with some health issues. There's a GoFundMe for his recovery. And I just wanted to drop this GoFundMe in the chat here really quick. If anyone is interested at all in helping Brian out with what he's going through, it seems like there's going to be a lot of recovery in his future.
Yes.
And we just wanted to make sure that before we got into the show, before we got to have our fun today, we took some time to point out that, Wheel of Time, the fandom has made this such a joyful experience for us.
Yes.
And has brought us together in a beautiful way. And so I just want to respect that fandom by calling this out and putting some attention on this GoFundMe on this poor guy's health. They have raised over $30,000 for him.
Which is incredible. When we started doing Wheel of Time stuff, and we were like, the Wheel of Time community is so great. Like you guys really are. And hopefully this is like one thing that will just be able to help in whatever way possible to make this at least a little bit easier. We unfortunately, we wish we knew some of these people a little bit better, but we are trying to avoid spoilers.
Yeah.
So we are looking forward to the moments where we finish the series and we can watch a lot of other creators' content.
Yeah, I went to hit their YouTube channel yesterday and I was like, oh, it's like top 10 Egwene moments. And I'm like, nope, can't watch that.
Nope, can't
top
do
10
it.
Matt moments, can't watch that.
Yeah.
I'm trying to stay a little newborn babe in the woods being like, mama.
We'll get there though.
Yeah.
Guys,
If you can't help.
Start making your list now. Like when we're done the series, we're going to be like, okay, we need to watch all the Wheel of Time stuff. So start making your lists now for like a year-ish from now.
Yeah, and I it's one of those situations where like, I think that fandom at times can, especially modern fandom, can get a bad rap for toxicity and for there are a lot of negatives to fandom. But when I see that this GoFundMe has raised as much as it has, and that the community is showing up for this guy, I really do feel like the beauty of fandom and the beauty of these communities that we build online is just so apparent to me, and it makes me so grateful to be a part of it. And so please click on the link, and we're gonna move on with our show today.
Yeah.
But we are sending all of our best wishes to Brian, the Rakapa Sadai.
Yes, absolutely.
Absolutely. All right, ladies, gentlemen, non-binary friends of the community. Clarus, you read the next 14 chapters of Lord of Chaos.
Did you?
I did not. No. I'm
crap.
gonna wing it today.
Damn.
That would be a funny episode.
If
I pretend to do the reading and then go through the entire conversation, winging it,
but like
pretending I did it.
But we don't tell chat, and then like a month later, we're like, okay, one of the last like
They would know.
6 episodes.
They would know. There's no way I could pull it off because there's too many.
Mm-hmm.
There's too many S names, and I would get them all confused.
That's what. That's true.
Yeah. Franklin Cheatham says 12 to 26 is 15 chapters. I want to be really clear, Franklin. We are both bisexual.
Math.
We don't
doesn't
do math.
Work. I don't know numbers.
No, we do video editing and talking.
Yes, we speak words
Yes.
like you do on Audible. This video is sponsored by Audible. Anyways, moving on.
audibletrial.com/nerdynightly if you too can't do math.
Like me.
Franklin is a statistician. Ooh.
Oh, thank you. This is why you're here. Lord of Chaos. We are more than halfway. Look at this. We are more than halfway through this book.
We are way more than halfway through the book. Yeah.
Yeah.
The
guys.
split. Apparently, the split is because the end of the book is so much. It's so dense.
Totally fair.
And we talked about this week where we were like, hey, like, this section wasn't that dense. Like, not a lot happened. There's a lot of setting up. There's a lot of like laying the pieces. But there are like whole chapters of this week that I'm like, we don't need to talk about it.
Well, yeah, I kind of wrote like one note about what happened, and I was like, okay, cool. Like, it's obviously important things and things that will come into play, I'm sure, later on.
Yeah.
But yeah, I just want to say, y'all, if you are reading along with us, thank you for trooping on through, because it has been a huge chunk of reading these 2 weeks, and it is going to slow down a little bit in terms of the number of pages, but I don't think in the amount of content.
Do you have your notes?
I do.
Oh, okay.
I do.
Good. Did you like this reading this week?
Yeah.
Yeah?
Yeah. It didn't stick out to me like last week's did. The one thing actually that stuck out to me the most was Rand's school. I was like, wow, what a weird thing to like it's just something that I didn't even cross my mind. That Rand would start like a university.
Lee's Science is like, lol, half-hour show today. Lee, it's been 18 minutes it's been 11 minutes of show, and we haven't even started talking about the book yet. I think the show will still be 2.5 hours long.
I think we're okay, yeah. But yeah, Rand is like, I'm going to start a school because the Age of Legends had all these like cool things, and I think we should like, I'm going to give grants to whoever inventions interest me.
Yeah.
Which happens to be the like spyglass guy. I was like, all right, cool. He's like, I have no idea how this works, but like, you seem really into it, so here's some money.
I really like the concept that Robert Jordan was like, I don't want to deal with having to explain how Rand makes money. So I'm just going to say he's so rich that none of it matters.
Oh, yeah.
Because sometimes, I feel like a lot of writers struggle with fictional economies systems. It can be really like the getting into the weeds of paying for the war is really tough to make interesting.
Yes.
It's some of the worst stuff of Game of Thrones for me.
Yes.
Is some of the
finances.
The show did a really good job of it. Because the show made the finance scenes really like, oh, Cersei might kill you, Iron Bank, ha ha ha.
Yeah.
Whereas sometimes in the book you're like, I don't care about this wagon.
Yeah.
I really don't care about this wagon.
Well, I think that Robert Jordan kind of gave a like blanket statement of obviously that the Aiel take a fifth, and the dragon, like the Karakarn, gets a 10th, I think, of that fifth. So he is incredibly wealthy.
Oh yeah, and that's the explanation they go with. They're like,
and I'm like, all right, that works.
Rand doesn't
know it. I don't need more than that.
But the other are like, oh no, you're super rich. He's like, cool. And then he just starts throwing gold coins around.
Yeah, I love it. Honestly, I think it's great.
Oh my God, wait, no, there was a whole attack this week. I forgot about the attack. We do have stuff to talk about.
We always have stuff to talk about. It just none of it was like crucial pivoting points, at least that we like know of now. We might look back and be like, but.
So let's get into it. Chapter 12. This chapter is called Questions and Answers. Did we get answers? Kind of.
Well, I think we will.
So Nynaeve and Elaine are chilling. They're chilling in their house, in their little room. They're like really starting to get nervous about all the lies that they're telling. I found it really interesting that they are so scared about the idea that the Aes Sedai are going to find out that they pretended to be a full Aes Sedai.
Yeah.
And what I find interesting about that is I feel like if they had just told them right away, they would have been fine. They would have been like, this is how Swan told us to do it, so we did it. Swan could have covered for them. It would have been like, they maybe could have covered it up, but now they've been lying about it for so long. Yeah. They really are in a position where they're screwed if people find out.
Yes.
And this brings into question the idea that Egwene is going to be risen to the Amyrlin. Because they're going to find out that she lied the whole time, right?
Oh, yeah. They're going to have to.
Do they raise her to the Amyrlin seat?
And just don't tell
anyone. And then find out after, and they're all pissed about it. They're like, wait, oh, damn it, we messed up. You're a liar.
Well, the thing is, she can't become the Amyrlin seat before actually becoming a full Aes Sedai and choosing the Aja, right? But the way that they did talk about
I don't know if that's how this is going to work.
I don't know either, because they were like the biddable child.
Egwene.
Yes. Yeah. I feel like that has to be Egwene. I don't know who else that could possibly be.
They've leaned too far. Robert Jordan has kind of like leaned into it being Egwene in too many different teases at this point for it not to be Egwene. Like, it would be weird if it was literally anybody else.
Yes.
In my opinion, because of her premonitions.
Yes. Why does everything always happen on Fridays?
There's no noise in this room all week. There's no construction. And then immediately when we start book club, there's a hammer on the other side of this freaking wall.
This exact wall. I love that for us.
Does anyone have a lot of money so we can buy a house and not have to deal with this stuff?
Yeah, yeah. Or do you have an extra house lying around? At this point, it doesn't matter where. Well, that's not true. I would not move to, like, rural Alabama. Sorry, babe.
I wouldn't either. Not especially hurricane season's coming up. Not dealing with that. I have too much family in rural Alabama, and I've
watched them rebuild too many times.
I've watched them rebuild too many times. Like I couldn't. Yeah. And in the exact same spot.
Yeah.
And you're like, well,
on the ashes, or not ashes, but you know what I mean.
On the mold. Of the last house.
Rand has money. We'll just ask him.
Rand has money. We'll go to the Karakar and see if he can set us up in a manor in Tyrion.
Hey, So
yeah, no, I feel like at this point I think that Egwene, I'm gonna call it. Mm-hmm. I'm gonna put my stamp on it. Egwene will be the Amerlin seat by the end of this book.
This book?
Yes.
Okay.
I think Egwene is going to show up to Saladar. She is going to immediately be raised to the Amerlin seat. So much so that I don't even think like it's going to be on her. She's going to show up and they're gonna be like, oh great, we have a ceremony ready for you. And she's gonna be like, wait, what?
See, my prediction was going to be like the start of the next book is going to be, oh my god. Also, Dakuna, very good one. Yeah.
Giovanni, thank you for joining the Nargs of the Nerd Table. Welcome in, my friend.
Nerd Table. Thank you so much. Yeah, sorry about the construction, guys. Of course, it is the moment that we do our book club. We love that for us. I was gonna say.
K-Huff, thank you for joining the Narcs.
K-Huff, thank you so much. I was gonna say I think that the beginning of the next book is going to be the ceremony. Because I think that there's going to be a lot of disaster at the end of this book, and they're gonna have to band together and rebuild super quick in next book to have a leg to stand on. Because the one thing that I do know is there is a big battle in this book. This book, it's freaking crazy. And so that would be my guess. I don't think she's going to become the Amerlin seat before that. But that's just me.
Honestly, Egwene might be the Amerlin seat by the end of next week.
True.
I think it's going to be such a rush job because the number one concern, we learn in this chapter, right? The number one concern of the Aes Sedai right now is how to interact with Rand because they don't know him.
Yes.
And I think that there's so many reasons why Egwene makes sense, right? They wanted someone who is powerful.
Yes,
who
powerful.
was not at the White Tower when it fell.
Yes, young.
They wanted a biddable child. Yeah. And they're so obsessed with people who knew Rand as a child.
Yes.
That they are going to raise her to the Amerlin seat thinking that they can manipulate Rand through his childhood friend.
Yes.
And they're not going to realize that Egwene isn't just powerful. Egwene is powerful and has been trained by the Aiel Wise Woman. And she is not going to be biddable. Like,
and Moiraine.
Egwene... Yeah, but Moiraine would have taught her to work more within the White Tower structure, whereas the Aiel are straight up teaching her, don't care. Yes. Don't give a shit about that. Just do your own thing.
Yes.
And so I think that they're going to raise her to the Amerlin seat immediately without talking to her. Mm-hmm. Like, just immediately. And then they're going to just be like, this freaking, she's basically an Aiel. Why did we do this? And we're going to get POVs of these Aes Sedai just being
like, we fucked up so bad.
I hate Egwene.
Rune, I just want to say welcome to the Nerd Table as well.
Thank you,
Rune. Thank you so much.
Welcome in,
Yeah, I think that they are going to have hashtag regrets about raising Egwene. Our mods are like sweating right now. I just know it. Thank you guys. You're the best.
Yeah, truly. And thank you everyone for not spoiling so much this week.
Yay.
I've only seen one deleted message, so like that's awesome.
We appreciate it. Thank you.
And thank you to the porn sex site bots for not. Oh my god. I half expect someone to come through the wall in the middle of the show and just be like, "Oh yeah."
That's you in my streams.
I do wonder though, like if Nynaeve, the podcast listeners, I feel so bad for the podcast listeners.
This is why you gotta leave us a 5-star review so that
more people are forced to listen to this nonsense.
Yes.
This show's gonna be 5 hours long because we're gonna pause every 20 seconds for the drill. I feel like Nynaeve, Elaine, and Egwene are just gonna start running shit.
I hope so. Because going back to your very first point about the girls saying whether or not they were Aes Sedai, like pretending to be full Aes Sedai, it goes back to the point, and maybe I'm harping on this like too much, but like nobody trusts one another, and this like idea of like severe punishment for things that they did to survive is so backwards, like ass backwards, you know, like our neighbors watch the show and are trolling you. God, I hope not.
That would be so funny. Because they do not seem like they know what YouTube is.
No.
Their kids do, but the like the parents next door. I just can't imagine they're on the internet very much, except to like watch Disney Plus.
Bob C, thank you for that super duper chat.
This is an interesting part of the story. Rand grows so much in this book.
I agree.
Is true.
He's very different.
His heart grew 3 sizes this day.
But yeah, if there was any kind of compassion and understanding between any of the Aes Sedai in the White Tower, you know, like if Elaine and Nynaeve felt like there was like that they could like trust the tower,
trust anyone,
like they would be in such a different situation. And oh my God. Guys, it's so loud for us. I really hope it's not that loud for you.
They say it's not that bad, but it is bad for us. His taint grew 3 sizes that day.
Aww.
That's a shirt. And it's like a man holding up the seal of the Dark One, and underneath it says his taint grew 3 sizes that day, and he's holding it up with magic.
And on the back of the shirt it just says break it.
Oh no, I understand it's not that bad for you guys. This mic is really good about that.
Yeah.
For us, it is so sudden and so loud when it hits.
It is very, very aggressive.
Yeah. So, Nynaeve, so let's talk about the book. We've been talking about stuff that hasn't happened.
Yes.
Chapter 12. Let's just start over. Chapter 12, questions and answers. This podcast is sponsored by Audible, audibletrial.com/nerdynightly. So, Elaine and Nynaeve are just chilling in the room.
Yes.
And Elaine is trying to, like, spin her way into the weave so there's like a weave of no eavesdropping. There's like a block on eavesdropping on the house.
Yes.
And so Megiddian,
and they're like, oh God, I wish we hadn't shared that secret with them.
Megiddian is trying to like teach her how to like spin through the weave to eavesdrop, which is I love the idea that it's like you have to enter the pattern of the wheel in order to break through a weave and eavesdrop. Like I love the imagery, the magic imagery being similar to like a loom.
And I love the idea that a weave that is tied off is more like vulnerable than like an active one.
Giovanni, greetings from Italy. Greetings, my friend. Sorry for poor English. Your English is fine.
You're fine.
I found your channel when I was reading the 10th book. Then I stopped the reading, watch all the video, and now restart from the point to reread with you. Oh my God. You were so close to the end and we ruined it for you.
We ruined it. That is dedication, my friend. Thank you
so much. I appreciate that.
Chat.
I had a fantastic Italian wine this week, so I feel like I'm all Italy all the time right now.
I would love to visit Italy.
Oh, we will.
We will one day.
We'll go on the problem is you don't drink red wine, so we're going to go on a vineyard tour, and you're just going to watch me drink all the red wine of Italy.
I will watch you get drunk, and it will be very entertaining for me. I will
and
make
occasionally we'll find you a good white.
Yeah, exactly.
So, Megiddian, I like that Megiddian...
Wheel of Time edging.
One of the reasons why I think that Nynaeve and Elaine and Egwene might start running things is because I think that they're going to... because of how secretive they're being with Megiddian's secrets.
Yes.
I'm starting to think Megiddian is going to be with these girls for a while.
I think so, at least for the rest of this book. I'm gonna throw something at the wall.
This book club is gonna be the death of me. This will literally be the end of me as a human being.
I don't know why everyone decides to do construction on Friday. Like, why? Why Friday? Do it in the middle of the week. Yeah, although things get a little, like, spicy with Megiddian.
Yeah, they get a little spicy.
Because, suddenly, Elaine leaves the room with the bracelet, and Megiddian has, like... You good?
Yeah.
Cool. Megiddian's demeanor, like, completely changes.
I've been to Sora, thank you for 4 months of the
Thank you for 4 months. Welcome back to the nerd table.
Yeah, and Nynaeve freaks out. She's like, it's the first time. How is it louder?
How? Shush!
Tom Maines is here. Thank you for being an ARG.
Thank you. Welcome to the nerd table.
So.
Oh man. Thank you.
No, thank you, Avendasora.
We appreciate you being here. This is wild.
This is so funny. Okay, so Nynaeve, the bracelet leaves. The Adam leaves with Elaine, and Nynaeve's like, wear it, and she's like, we can leave it on a hook. It's fine. She's like, no, you wear that bracelet. You wear it, Elaine. Don't you dare take that off. And then she leaves, and Nynaeve's like, bring it back. Give me I can't be alone in a room without it. Yeah. Oh my god, this is so scary. She's a Forsaken.
I would be terrified too. I would lose my shit.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, I would absolutely lose it. And I don't think that we understand or they understand well enough how the Adam works, because when we saw it with Egwene, they left it on like the hook in the room. They did not take it for like further than a certain like distance from her, at least from what I remember.
Yeah.
And so I'm worried that is like leaving a vulnerability in that connection.
I don't think there's a vulnerability. I think they're just fine. Josh Timko, thank you for that super chat. This, folks, is why this episode will still be 2.5 to 3 hours.
The drilling.
Yes, and also because we have yet to actually move on from the first paragraph of the first chapter. Methany! You kind of missed out on the 10K hype at the beginning of last stream, so I'm using Human's latest absence to across the keyboard again. Congratulations. Thank you. It was
Methany's cat.
Was it Sammy?
It started with this S, yes.
There's too many S names.
No, too many S names.
Methany, thank you so much. Praise be to Methany's cat. Yes. I feel like Methany's cat is going to be like the patron saint of this podcast.
Yeah, we will create a shirt just for Methany's cat.
That is so funny.
Oh my god, Methany, thank you so much.
Oh my god, Methany's cat strikes again. It's true. Another S name.
Smash the like button for Methany's cat.
Apparently there are enough S names. I think someone in my Pokemon stream yesterday did the math, and I think there's 72 characters with S names in the Wheel of Time. Wow. But when there's 2,738 characters, makes sense.
I guess, makes sense. You can't, like, there's only so many, like, X names or Z names that exist, right? Yeah. Like, so.
And the #1 podcast among cats.
Oh man.
So Nynaeve is like, well, I'm leaving. Clean up my piss wench, and then she goes out the door. That's literally what happens. And then Nynaeve basically meanders around town, trying not to do any. She just doesn't want to get pulled into anything.
Yeah. Well, because she's supposed to be going to copy for those two Aes Sedai, right?
Yeah.
And she
No. That was last week.
Was it?
Yeah, we talked about that already.
Did I read? Oh, what?
Wait, was that this week?
No, I'm pretty sure that's in this chapter. Because I had it that Nynaeve is interrogated.
Is that this? Oh my god, you guys. We need to get out a salad bar. I can't keep everything straight. Yeah, I think you're right. But no, she goes to Brigitte.
Yes.
And it's like, yo, girl, can you steal horses? And Brigitte's like, yeah. But we're bringing this girl who... my lesbian lover with us.
Basically, yeah. She was the one who was the hunter of the horn.
Yeah.
And I guess they became friends, which is like cool, you know.
I don't know if they became friends so much as she like is like following Brigitte around, and I think Brigitte just likes attention.
Fair.
Brigitte kind of strikes me as the kind of person who likes attention.
Yeah.
And so having to like follow her is their is Brigitte's kink. And she's like, yeah, we're going to bring that girl. I know you don't like her. I'm not even sure I like her. But she's going to come with us.
But she's going to come with us.
Yeah.
And then that's when Nicola shows up to go get Nynaeve. And is like...
Yes, you're right.
Well, yeah, they said you better hurry the fuck up. Otherwise, they're going to spank you.
I think the reason I thought this was last week's reading was because we ended the podcast last week. Yeah. And then I sat down on the couch and started reading.
You literally... Yeah. Normally, we, like, do our reading, like, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, like, in the following week. And Nerdy was like, nah, I'm reading today.
Yeah.
So that makes sense.
So Nicola drags her over to some Aes Sedai.
Yeah.
And they're like, you don't need to do any copying.
Would you like some tea?
Would you like some tea?
Which
and
is
also,
sus.
hey,
Sus.
what do you know about Rand? And then he's like, I haven't seen him in like 2 years.
Yeah, literally.
What intelligence do you think I'm gonna have on him? We're not friends.
Yeah.
I was the wisdom in the village. We went kind of on an adventure together.
They didn't even live in the same place. Like, he lived in a farm outside of the village, and she's like, I don't know, I spanked him once when he, like, was a little shithead.
Well, and she's like, we went to the Eye of the World together, and then he left, and then I left in a different, like, we went off in different directions. We found each other in Falmouth for like 6 minutes.
Yeah.
Then he left. We went off in different directions. Like, they spend like a day together.
Yeah.
Every like 2 months in this journey.
Yeah.
And they keep getting separated.
Yeah. Yeah. I don't know why they're like, because Nynaeve has already told all of them everything, right? I don't know why they're so convinced that she knows, when like they know that she's been running around for so long and has now been here.
Mm-hmm.
Like they kind of know that she hasn't been there, right? So
It was just
very.
It was a line of questioning where she's like, I can tell you like what he did as a child.
Yeah.
And they're like, no, but tell us about him now. And she's like, guys,
like, I've been here. I don't know what to tell you.
Yeah.
He's also very different. You know what I mean? Like,
he's got the taint in him now.
The taint will do that.
Well, and they're just frustrated because they're not asking specific questions, and so they're not getting specific answers because there is no answer that Nynaeve could really offer up to them that would satisfy what they want. They want a silver bullet here, but there is no silver bullet. Like, there is no silver bullet to understanding another human being, right?
Yeah.
And so I think that I think that the frustration on their end in this conversation isn't Nynaeve's fault.
Yeah.
It's the fact that they came into this interrogation not knowing what their own goal was.
Yeah, they just wanted something to fall into their laps.
Yeah, and this gets into Nynaeve's whole point of view here, right? Where Nynaeve is kind of walking around Salad Bar here. She's frustrated with the way that the Aes Sedai are handling things.
Yeah.
She feels like they're just spinning their wheels. They're not accomplishing anything. They're just waiting. And so when Nynaeve gets into this conversation, there is this element of it that is Nynaeve realizing, hey, they don't have a plan.
Yeah.
And I think that frustration, I don't think Nynaeve would have gone to eavesdrop at the window without this conversation.
Yeah.
Where she realized in this conversation, she's like, oh, you guys, you don't even know what you're asking.
Yeah.
You have no idea what you're doing. I'm going to go listen at the window.
Yeah.
And
she's like, I'm done being a coward. It's like,
Glenn Cullinan, thank you for Cullinan. Thank you for joining the nerds.
Table. I also love that Brigitte's like, you want me to eavesdrop? You know, absolutely not.
Yeah, and so she goes and she listens at the window and gets dissatisfied again.
Yeah.
Because what she hears at the window is non-committal.
No, it's biddable child, and that's the only like tidbit of info that we're given, which doesn't mean much, I'm sure, to Nynaeve, but I think for us, like, it's very clear who it is, unless we're totally wrong.
Yeah.
The one thing, so when Moghedien was revealed to be one of the 3 girls that came with them to Salad Bar, I definitely thought that the other 2 girls with her were the dark friend, the Black Aja.
I think they are.
You still think that they are? You think that Nicola?
Yeah, that's why that girl's getting close to. That's why that girl's getting close to Brigitte.
So my question is that they were both tested.
Yeah.
Do you think that whatever her name is was able to hide the fact that she has the one power? Because Nicola, they were like, oh, you have the power. But they literally specifically said that you have like the spark in you that like has to be trained. You wouldn't have figured it out for yourself. Do you think that they were able to disguise that part of themselves?
Yeah, I think like much in the same way that Lanfear was able to minimize Asmodian's power, I think that Moghedien would have the ability. Maybe they aren't. Maybe that the realization will be that they're just people who just happen to be on this journey with them. But I think that Moghedien would have the power to like shield them in that way, right?
Maybe
leave them with a shield that they could untie at any point.
Maybe, yeah. But yeah, that part was like that was confusing for me because I was convinced that you know all 3 of them were bad, and obviously now with the one girl becoming friends with Brigitte, that's very suspicious to me. But I'm like, how did she conceal herself from the Aes Sedai who like tested her? Legitimate unless that is a thing that exists that we will like be introduced. But I don't know. I don't know, because then Nicola also has that weird, like, premonition.
Yeah.
So that's why I'm like, I don't actually know if they are the Black Aja anymore. I feel like they might just be people.
I honestly, I don't know. It could go either way at this point. It is enough to... It is vague enough that it could go either way.
Yeah, exactly.
And I don't think we will know until... either nothing happens or something big happens. Like, I don't think
Yes.
it'll be like a casual reveal.
Yeah.
Joe White says, I finally get to see one of these live. I'm so sorry it's this one.
Yes. Sorry about the construction noise, guys.
And so, oh my, how?
Yeah.
Like, how is this possible? The one time all week our internet works really well.
I know.
And it's this.
Yeah.
So, so Nynaeve, she's literally just crouching under a window, in an inn next to, like a door.
Yeah.
That's in the middle of town.
Yeah.
With warders. I really don't understand how she gets away with this.
Me neither.
Like, like everybody in town, literally everybody in town knows what's going on in that room right now. There would be people looking at the building. There would be warders walking around. And Nynaeve is literally like...
Yeah. Yeah, she's like...
And then Theodrin just walks up and is like...
But that's what I mean.
You fucking idiot.
Theodrin, and like, she's like, oh, you good? Also, I love her.
Yeah, Theodrin's great.
I hope she's a good guy.
No, Dark Friend.
No, don't say that.
Yeah, Black Aja.
No.
Theodrin is Black Aja.
No, I like her.
I can almost guarantee that Theodrin's Black Aja, and that's why she doesn't rat out Nynaeve here, because she's going to use it later.
No.
Yeah, I really do think that, Sex Monkey says the inn has a tell.
Oh my god. How dare you? How
Oh my god.
I ain't been dropping no eaves.
So, so yeah, Theodrin is like, all right, we're gonna go learn some stuff.
We're gonna get rid of this block.
The way we're gonna do that is, I'm gonna beat you up, and that doesn't work. And she's like, I'm gonna throw water on you, and that doesn't work. And so she's like, all right, don't go to bed tonight. And Nynaeve was like, sure.
Yeah, no sleeping for you. I guess to like exhaust her. Cause like if she can if she's tired enough to surrender to the power, she might. I honestly thought that when they all like bonded together that would break the block, but apparently not. It's fine.
It might have. We haven't seen her try and channel since then.
Have we not?
No. We don't get any more point of view of her after that.
Oh, Jake Hendricks, thank you for that.
Jake Hendricks, thank you for that.
Chat.
For me, the constructing sounds like a very intermittent buzz.
Thank
It's
God.
really not coming through very much. Anyway, Rock On again, thank you for that. For us, it sounds like someone is trying to break into the room violently.
Yes.
It's kind of insane.
Yeah, it's wild. But I'm glad. I'm glad it's not that bad
Oh
for you
no,
guys.
because I guess they do go into Tel'aranth Riad. But that's the last we see of them, right?
Yeah.
So I don't know. I think her block might be lessened. Let's get into how that happens, and then we'll talk about it.
Yeah.
So chapter 13, Under the Dust. Guys, we are 37 minutes in, and we have done one chapter. If anyone was worried that this show was not going to be 2.5 hours,
classic.
this is Nerdy Nightly. Okay,
Let's go.
we talk too much. We see the comments. We know you guys don't like it, but 10,000 of you subscribed, so I don't know what to tell you. Theodrin is pissing off Nynaeve.
Yeah.
And the problem is that Theodrin doesn't understand how to teach Nynaeve, right? Because Theodrin is like, all right, you can only channel when you get angry, and so I'm gonna keep doing things that piss you off. And I was like, well, yeah, of course Nynaeve ends up pissed off and channeling. You threw water at her. What do you think her reaction would be? I'd be pissed too.
Well, okay, I think that they've had several lessons at this point.
Yes.
I think she is trying different tactics. And shock was one of them. I think that that's reasonable. The whole, like, her getting punched in the face was kind of funny. But, I was like, wow, of course that happened with Nynaeve. But I love that we find out about her block and, like, what that was and, like...
Yeah.
That was so fascinating.
Theodrin's a horny girl.
Yeah.
But not for other girls.
No.
Theodrin, canonically straight.
Yes. Canonically very, very straight.
This is the straightest character in the Wheel of Time.
Yes.
Because I could only channel in front of boys because I was a little turned on by them. And then, it was a girl. Well... Honestly,
no. Nynaeve and Theodrin, straightest characters in Wheel of Time.
I don't know about that.
I
Nynaeve has a woman, like, with a collar on her in her bedroom most of the time. That's pretty gay.
Fair.
That's pretty gay.
Yeah.
Trevor Fast, thank you for that super chat.
Thank you for that super chat.
Love the book chat, but I'm truly here for the tangents. Oh, do we have a show for you?
Oh man, I wonder if someone should keep track of the number of tangents.
all we do is have tangents.
I know.
What would you keep track of?
We should have like
you
a
would put out a
counter.
Google Doc that just says the show.
Truly. Truly.
So Nynaeve and Elaine kind of have a fight here. Deodran leaves. She's like, don't go to bed. Nynaeve and Elaine have a fight where Nynaeve is like, I think McGideon's right? Because we should have said, McGideon did say, like, you guys need to get out of here. This is a pit of vipers, and you're lying to everyone. When you get caught, it's going to be bad. And Nynaeve is like, look, I think McGideon's right. We need to get out of Dodge.
Yeah.
And Elaine is like, no, we need to stay.
Yeah.
And so Elaine is like, what if we use that thing that the wise ones told us about needing shit in Tel'aran'rhiod Riyadh and Tel'aran'rhiod Riyadh taking us to it? And Nynaeve is like, yeah, okay, let's go do it.
Yes, very convenient. But it is what it is.
But before they can go to bed, they get a visitor.
They do.
Does this visitor knock?
Nobody knocks.
I said I don't knock.
Nobody knocks.
But like Tarna.
Amienda doesn't knock.
Tarna, come on, Tarna.
No.
You're trying to sway people to your side by breaking into their bedroom?
She's a red. She doesn't care.
I know, but be smarter.
No, she's not. She's so cocky. She does not care. Yeah, she literally bursts in and she's like, hey, let's talk.
Yeah.
Like,
and they're like,
wow, okay. She's like, oh, the daughter heir. Wow, I heard you were here. Elena's looking for you. You should,
yeah, it wasn't.
with me.
It was interesting to me that Tarna is like meaner to Elaine than she is to Nynaeve. As soon as Elaine leaves the room, she like softens with Nynaeve.
Purposefully, though. I think that's
I know, but you
tactic.
should have done it the other way around. Elaine would respond better to being soft, and Nynaeve responds to being hard. That's why she's into Lan. Every part of him is so hard. Those abs, those pecs, those delts, that dick. It's rock hard. It's like a steel beam in his pants.
Six Monkey says our neighbors are knocking and you don't appreciate that either. Different kind, okay?
They're not knocking. They're drilling in. Tom Maines Delavinde! Thank you so much for 5 gifted Nerdy Nightly memberships.
Thank you so much.
Jake Hendricks, Project Myrtle, Claris Polaris. You're a member of the channel.
Hell yeah, let's go.
Ruby Mineshaft and Rand of Bridge 4. Thank you so much for that. Really appreciate that. That is incredibly kind. Enjoy the emotes and the nargs, my friends.
Yes.
So Tarna basically is like, Elaine, you have to come back. Like, Aleda is after you, girl. And then she's like, Elaine, get out of here. And Elaine's like, okay, bye. And then she's talking to Nynaeve. And she's just being super sweet. And Nynaeve is like, yeah.
Yeah, sure, you're sus.
Yeah. I don't know, can you finger the camera on YouTube?
Well, we're about to find out.
Demonetized.
Can you imagine the video just
out of the
gets taken down.
We can talk about all the crazy sex shit we do in the smut corner, but you can't flip the bird.
No, you can't flip the bird. You can't bite your thumb at you, sir. It's just rude.
That's funny. That's a good reference.
Thank you.
Yeah. And so Tarna just like is like, all right, well, I'm leaving. So you can come or not come. That's
she
cool.
also wants information on Rand, right?
Everyone wants information on Rand. The problem is there is no information on Rand. Even the people with Rand every day are like, I don't know who this man is or what is happening. And so Elaine comes back and is like, what'd she say? And Nynaeve's like, nothing. Don't.
Yeah, literally it's not worth the time.
Yeah, Wheel of Time is right. Lick if you cry ever chum.
Yeah.
And so they go into Tel'aran'rhiod Riyadh and they hold hands. They go on a little date. It's cute, you know.
It's cute, yeah.
They talk about their clothes for a second. They're wearing things. This time.
Robert Jordan is really into fashion.
And they start to like bounce around the world.
They're like, okay, we need this.
We need something that will make the salad bar Aes Sedai go for Rand.
Yeah.
And so the Tel'aran'rhiod Riyadh takes them to a bowl.
Well, first it takes them to the tower. And they're like, we can't
Oh,
be
yeah, and they
here.
see Egwene.
Yeah, they see Egwene.
Egwene?
Who disappears for a second. And then they're like, oh, that was so weird. I guess Egwene dreams too. So weird. And yeah, and then they teleport to Ebudar. Yeah.
The way you just said the teleport to Ebudar. Ebudar.
Someone remix that into a sick mixtape, please.
This is Ebudar Radio.
So we find a bowl.
We find a bowl.
That has something to do with the weather, and that's about all that we know.
This is officially becoming a stoner comedy. The bowl has been found, but where is that Two Rivers to back?
True.
Yeah, we have to stuff the bowl. What if they have to change the weather by stuffing the bowl with Two Rivers to back?
It has to be Rand.
The Wheel of Time, now produced by Seth Rogen. You saw how successful he made The Boys, Invincible, and Preacher. Now he's taking on Wheel of Time. Has he read the books? No. Will everyone smoke a lot more weed? Absolutely they will. Will he cameo masturbating in an episode of the show? You betcha.
Absolutely.
This is a Seth Rogen TV show.
Yeah, so we have what is it when there's like an object that just like solves the problem?
A MacGuffin.
Yeah, we found a MacGuffin that we have to go look for.
Which is fun. We haven't had a MacGuffin in a while.
No, I'm fine with it.
Kalandor was kind of the last real MacGuffin.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it was for like a prophecy, and I thought it was cool. This is also cool. Like it's not like everything is a MacGuffin. I think it's a McMuffin.
It's a McMuffin.
Do you
want to get McMuffins after this?
It's the only thing I will ever get from McDonald's is a McMuffin.
Here's the thing I will say. I'm proud of us. We've lived in this apartment for 9 months. 8 months. There is a McDonald's within a 4-minute walk from us.
And
neither of us have entered it.
Yes. Poggers.
Pog champ, kids. Now, have I gone to Starbucks and Tim Hortons almost every day? Yes.
Almost every day, yeah.
But I have not entered that McDonald's.
Yeah, so we have a bowl. One thing, okay.
And the bowl is going to fix the weather. And that's all they know.
That's all that they know. Okay, I wanted to bring up something and I keep forgetting to.
Okay.
Do you think we're ever going to go back to the Eye of the World?
No, there's nothing there.
Just wondering.
It's just an empty hole in the ground.
It was such an important place at one point. I just was curious. I kept thinking about it. I was like trying to think of because Robert Jordan is really a master at setting things up and bringing them in later on. I don't know. I just feel like we might go back for some reason.
He is in every book after The Eye of the World.
Right.
Like, do you remember when Moiraine was 40 feet tall and stepped over the city walls?
She should have done that to Lanfear. Lanfear would be like, step on me.
But, like, do you remember when Moiraine was 40 feet tall and stepped over the city walls? And we've not seen anyone do anything like that since?
Yeah.
It for me, it is a case of, like, the books have... Eye of the World is, like, Robert Jordan figuring it out a little bit. And then everything after that is this, like, story that kind of is self-reflective and indicative of things in it. But I do not think we'll go back to Eye of the World because it's just a hole in the ground now.
Fair enough. It was really interesting listening. I'm listening to the first book again. Glenn!
Starbucks is terrible, lol. Love an Aussie.
Thank you for the super chat. I get like the egg bites and that's about it. That's all I'll get.
They use the good coconut milk. I like a coconut milk mocha.
Yeah.
That's my drink of choice. Mm-hmm. And the Starbucks coconut milk, a lot of coconut milks don't foam well.
Yeah.
They don't froth well. I was a barista for a while, and so I'm very particular about my coffee. Mm-hmm. I don't drink Starbucks black coffee. It's very bad. Mm-hmm. But when I want a coconut milk mocha, they use the right coconut milk to froth in the way that I like, and so I'm very specific about what I like.
Uh-huh.
Yes.
Anyways, I wanted to bring up that in the first part of one of the first things that Lan says to Perrin in the Eye of the World is along the lines of, and I wish I'd wrote it down, but I was sewing at the time, was along the lines of like men who are like careful or like think things through or like are thorough, live longer, that kind of thing, like giving him that advice. And it's so funny that is like Perrin's entire character.
Yeah, no, that's true.
Like he is the person who has to think everything through so carefully, and it's like it was one of the first things that we see Lan say to him. Anyways, obviously there's stuff that happens not off screen, but you know what I mean. And I think that it's fun that there is a lot there that Robert Jordan built on, which is cool.
Hasty Elder Haman, love the name.
Nice.
We will get to that today. That was fun.
That was fun.
Did you figure out who the character was that I was excited to meet that we finally met?
His mom.
Loyal's mom.
Yeah.
Hasty Elder Haman says, "I don't drink coffee. Should I leave this channel?" No, there's a strong line right here between
no coffee.
caffeine. Well, actually, you're drinking caffeine. Between the bitter darkness of life and the sweet, sweet joy of life, and those are the differences between us.
Yes. How dare you all are the worst. Perrin is a good boy. Okay?
Perrin is in this book, Gregory. Well, not really. He was in the prologue.
He was in a little bit.
My God, I really hope Perrin is still a main character in this series. I'm a little worried.
He will be. No,
I don't know. I'm a little worried Robert Jordan kind of like did what he wanted with Perrin, and he'll come back for like fight sequences, but he won't be as important.
No,
I'm getting nervous,
I think
y'all.
He's gonna be yeah. No. I think Perrin's coming back with not vengeance. He's not a vengeful person, but you know what I mean. Yeah. So we get a bowl, and then next chapter.
Cries.
Oh yes,
Nynaeve is so desperate to be able to channel without her block.
Yes.
That she doesn't realize she starts to cry, and I liked Nynaeve a lot more in this moment. This was big points up for me with Nynaeve because I like when really tough characters show moments of vulnerability, and the way that they led into Nynaeve crying in this moment, really loved it. I do think it's partially just because she's so tired, because that's happens to me. I cry when I'm tired.
Sure.
Which is probably why I cry so much because I never sleep. But Glenn, Cullen, and Ann, thank you.
Glenn, thank you for the super chat.
Come to Australia. I bet the coffee's better.
We were literally talking about maybe visiting Australia in like January.
We were talking about moving to New Zealand next year.
I literally was like, so how much do you think houses are in New Zealand?
But I've heard that the barista scene in Australia, particularly in I think Sydney, is like real strong. So I will come drink your coffee, Glenn. I want to go to Australia real bad.
Yeah, we would love to one day.
Chapter 14.
Yes.
Dreams and nightmares. We cut to our girl.
Egwene.
We have not spoken with her in a while.
We haven't seen her in a while, and
I've been a little bit worried.
She's floating around, telling around God. She's like, "Oh shit, do you think they saw me? Nah, they didn't see me." Mm-hmm. And then she floats in a sea of stars. What? I
just got I read my notes off my iPad, and I just got an alert from YouTube that says that Philip DeFranco just posted a short called "Shakira Could Be Going to Jail for Years." And I have no context on any of that.
You have to go watch that later.
Well, should we do a live reaction to it now during the podcast? No. I'm kidding. So Egwene leaps out of Tarvalon. And she's like, yo, they almost saw me. Why do you think Egwene doesn't just talk to the girls?
Because Egwene is not supposed to be there. Right?
Yeah, but how many other secrets do these girls are nothing but secrets with each other?
Yeah, but Egwene doesn't trust anybody right now, and it's really frustrating.
Fair. She trusts Rand weirdly.
Not really. No, she wants something from him, and she goes about it literally the completely wrong way. Like I was like, Egwene, you are smarter than that.
I don't know. I feel like she trusts him. I think she like knows she needs to manipulate him a little bit to get what she wants. But I feel like Rand is kind of the one person. She's the one person who isn't like.
Stop manipulating Rand.
Well, yeah, but
he knows. He fucking knows. Like
everyone's gonna manipulate Rand in this series. I think we need to stop dying on that hill.
No, but I mean, like, I want Egwene and him to be friends again, and they're not, and it's frustrating for me.
Glad Cullen and Ann, thank you for that super chat. Melbourne. Is there's no R in I found out there's no R in Melbourne.
Oh.
Yeah, it's just Melbourne.
Oh.
Coffee, culture, and food. Wow, Glenn taking a fat dump on Sydney right now. Is there anyone from Sydney in the chat who wants to fight?
Fight with Glenn. No, we're kidding. We'll make it out there one day.
Thank you for that, Glenn. So Egwene. So it's time for Smut Corner.
Yeah.
But not us.
But not our Smut Corner. This is Robert Jordan's Smut Corner. Literally, Egwene is floating in a sea of stars, and she's like, these are people's dreams. How cool is that? And then she gets sucked into a dream, and she's like, stop it. Like, she literally, like, floats towards it. It's like, I don't know what's happening. Gets sucked into this dream, And guess whose freaking dream it is? I don't guess. We all know. Everyone here knows.
Go win. Ida says Norway is the best place for coffee. Thank you for that super chat.
Thank you, Ida, for
We
that
have a
super
coffee
chat.
fight going on in the chat.
A coffee fight.
Glenn gave me another super chat for pronouncing it
You
right.
pronounced it right.
This
Good
is
job.
why I pay attention to other people's cultures so that they feel seen and then they give me money.
Wow. It was all a ploy.
David McGarry says Egwene is sucked off into a sex dream, and that is
basically.
just facts.
Yeah.
So Egwene basically she runs away from the girls and she's floating in stars and she's like looking at people's dreams. She sees Rand's, it's warded. She sees some other Aes Sedai, they're warded. And then she sees a dream and she's like, I know that dream, but I don't. But also it's getting bigger. And then
Bigger and
Obi-Wan
bigger.
Kenobi over her shoulder goes, that's no moon. It's a space station. It's too big to be a space station. And then, we're caught in a tractor beam, and she gets pulled in. And then she wakes up in a dream, and she hears this heavy breathing that's like,
Oh my god.
Egwene, I am your future husband. And so Rand is there, and she's like, what the fuck is Rand doing here?
Rand's like tied up. This is real kinky.
No, she's tied up.
Oh, sorry.
She's
She's
tied up.
And Rand is there.
Rand
She's
is
like,
there.
Rand wouldn't want to hurt me. This is weird.
Gawain shows up, and
Yeah.
she's like, threesome? And Gawain kills Rand, cuts off his head.
Literally kills Rand, and she's like, this is like too real.
Yeah, and then they bone.
Yeah.
They full on, and Nynaeve Egwene is trying to get out, and she can't get out, and so she's like, well, if I can't leave, might as well.
Might as well just.
If you can't use magic, have an orgasm.
If you can't use
Nerdy
magic
Nightly.
to get out, have an orgasm.
Kenny Theology, thank you for that super
Thank you for
chat.
that super chat.
Alana appears large to get the Two Rivers girls under control after Rand scares them.
That is true. She does appear large.
Interesting, yeah.
Yeah.
Not like 40 feet large, but yeah, no, you are right.
Yeah, she does fill up
You are
the
right.
space.
Vale, I am your daddy. I don't know. I don't know if the daddy thing is a Wheel of Time thing. I think that's a Third Age thing. I'm pretty sure Ilyena called Luce Theron daddy, but I don't know if that made it into the world after the breaking.
Wow.
Mm-hmm.
So it's funny because like Gawain is like trying all these different ways of trying to like tell her that he likes her, and it does the like flicker thing.
Well, it rewinds.
Yeah.
I want them to actually just full on use the rewind effect from like old TVs.
Yeah.
For this moment on the show.
Yeah.
Also, this scene in the show is going to be so much spicier.
Oh.
Because
yeah.
they're not. This is weirdly Egwene. This is Egwene losing her virginity.
Yes, but not with her like physical body. It's weird.
Okay, but
like I don't understand how that.
Egwene loses her virginity here.
Yes. Yeah.
Gawain doesn't, because Gawain is in a dream, but Egwene is in her own head, right? So this is the first time Egwene forks. Right? But in the show, Egwene's no virgin.
No, she's not.
And so in order to impress her in his dreams, Gawain's going to have to go for it. You know what I mean? Gawain's going to have to pull out the stops.
Yeah, it's going to have to get real spicy.
It's going to have to get real spicy. And they cast a real handsome boy as Gawain. Like, this scene's gonna hit.
Thank you for that super chat.
Thanks for noticing us, Senpai.
Yeah, guys, Gawain in the show is hot. Very, very attractive.
Nemsi says the show will probably have Egwene doing Gawain with a strap on.
I'm here for that. Honestly, I love that Gawain in his own dreams is like very plain and ordinary looking. Like he doesn't think much of himself.
Yeah, because even in his dreams, he's like, you'd rather be with Galad.
Yeah, it's like, this is so sad.
Adeline : I did not pronounce that right.
Super chat.
Thanks from Montreal for this great podcast. No, thank you.
Thank you.
Controversial opinions after book 10. Egwene is my fave Supergirl.
Let's go.
Asmodee's my fave Forsaken. Matt isn't in my top 5, and I think book 3 is the worst one.
Spicy takes in the chat. Let's go.
I love a spicy take. Thank you for having a spicy take that doesn't have any spoilers in it.
Now fight.
Although now I really wonder if Asmodean is dead.
I think he's dead. I don't know. Asmodean, I think, was a really cool concept and idea, but yeah.
All right. So post coitus, we cut over to Nynaeve. Actually, pre coitus, because Robert Jordan does a gentleman's fade to black here.
Yes. And you know they have to warm up because it's Egwene's a virgin.
Yeah.
So,
Speaking of easy, thank you for that super chat. That's your shirt. When you can't use magic, have an orgasm. I'm working on it. And then the magic wand is a magic wand. It's gonna be funny. Just give me a minute. Nynaeve is sitting on a stool.
It's gonna be funny.
Trying to stay awake. Mm-hmm. And suddenly everything falls to shit. Yeah. They are under attack.
From the household items.
Yes.
The pots and pans and chamber pots and the beds and everything just lose themselves. I don't understand how they know it's like a bubble of evil.
Because they felt it ripple through before. That's why no one else knows. Because they have felt the sensation. Because remember when they were in the Stone of Tyr, there was like a... It was like the Dark One's taint, but on everything.
Yeah.
Like there was a feeling of the miasma pushing through this bubble, this fart of the Dark One passing through the taint into their lives.
Yeah.
And so I think that the two girls who are, it has to be a feeling thing because the two girls who are at the Stone of Tyr both go, oh, it's this.
Yeah.
They just immediately know. They don't have to see anything. They don't have to do anything. They just know immediately, right?
Yeah.
And so it has to be some sort of feeling or inherent thing that is a part of it.
Yeah, it has to be because they just know, like they immediately, there's no like question about it. They're very intent on like it as a fact.
Yeah.
And and so they run out and not Alana.
They don't run out right away. They have to like fight in their own rooms. They run into the room next door.
The room where the girls are being choked by the bed sheets.
Yeah, because they're like, honestly, thank God for Theodrin. Mm-hmm. I mean, this is one of those scenes where I'm like, oh, making Nynaeve Ta'Viren makes sense. I don't
Egwene?
like I know I don't like that they made Egwene Ta'Viren. But
Nynaeve is not Ta'Viren.
I know, but she should be.
Oh.
I think things would make more sense if Nynaeve was Ta'Viren.
Oh, interesting.
Like, I feel like I kind of like now that where we're at in the books, I like the idea of one of the girls being Ta'Viren. I don't like it being like Egwene. Mm-hmm. I would have liked it more if it was Nynaeve.
Yeah, I agree.
And I think that in the show it would have made sense too because she's not from Emond's Field in the show.
Yeah.
She like comes from somewhere else.
Yeah.
And I think the idea of her being a Ta'Viren that gets pulled to Emond's Field.
Yeah.
Anyway, it doesn't matter. That's not important. The point is that Theodrin keeps her awake so that she's able to save these lives.
Yeah.
It all makes sense.
Yeah, and we get our first instance in the book, anyways, of the connecting of the power between people.
Is this the first time women have linked?
In the books, I think so. They've talked about it a lot.
No. There was linking in No, there's been linking before.
Really?
Yeah, because there was linking when they healed Matt. The women who were surrounded Matt linked to heal him from the dagger
Yes, but we didn't get the POV of the feeling of the link.
Oh, I see what you're saying.
Yeah. They watched the other Aes Sedai do the thing. Mm-hmm. They weren't like involved in it.
They didn't feel the sensation of it.
Yes.
That's interesting. I hadn't thought about that, but yeah, it is. This is the first time we get an internal POV of that, and it is beautiful.
Yeah, that's what I mean.
I'm amazed they don't link all the time.
We've seen linking, but like this is the first time we as a reader have experienced linking.
I kind of wish we had more drug imagery around the power. Because they kind of talk about how it's addictive. I think it would be interesting to see the effect of that addiction on people more.
Yeah.
I feel like everyone is all the people who can channel are so like calm and collected after a while.
Yeah.
And it's interesting to me that we don't see any characters, and maybe it's because addiction to the one power always leads to death. It always leads to burnout.
Yeah.
But I think that it would be interesting to meet a character, and maybe we will, obviously we have a lot of books left, who has maybe had more negative consequences from the addiction to the power, as opposed to what we're seeing from the Aes Sedai, which is this serene kind of, I don't even feel heat or cold. I just kind of like am so calm and above it all. I would like to see someone who's a little bit more like, trying not to use the power because it is getting to them.
Yeah, or someone who maintains just like the smallest link at all times and it like takes a toll on them.
Yeah.
Which kind of feels like what the like no sweating like weather thing is. So I guess that we wouldn't get that. But yeah, like definitely would be interested to see more like negative consequences because they do talk about it very often about how addictive it is, and we see it obviously in the taint and the madness in the male side of the power, but the seductiveness of the female side of the power, I would love to see Yeah, more of that. I think that would be cool.
Samantha A brings up, I think this is why stilled and gentled people die. It's like withdrawal. That's interesting.
That never gets better, you know?
I went through withdrawal once. It was not fun.
With what?
Sugar.
Oh, me too. Yeah.
No, when I first like did my weight loss, when I got back from Japan, I was really sick in Japan. It's this whole thing, but it was because I was overweight and struggling with it.
Yeah.
And so I went from like drinking 2 liters of soda every day to having 0 sugar in my diet the next day. And I got really, like, for 2 weeks, I was just really sick. And I went to the doctor and I was like, I don't understand. I'm eating so healthy.
Yeah.
I'm doing all these things. And we talked for like 10 minutes about my life. And he was like, oh, you're in sugar withdrawal.
Yeah.
And I was like, that's not a thing. It's not a drug. And he was like, oh, no, it is.
It is.
You can't just cut it out and not, your body has a craving.
Yeah.
You're not satisfying it. And so your body's like, your sensory stuff is going crazy.
Yeah.
And it was just really interesting. I didn't expect that would be part of. It was really rough. It was really, really bad.
Yeah, it's awful.
And now I can't drink soda. Like, I can't have that much sugar or else I get sick.
Yeah. Yeah, because your body's like, whoa, this is actually not great. I've cut sugar out twice, and it's always the first couple days to a week are horrendous.
Yeah.
It's tough. Josh, thank you so much for that super chat. I said temperament despite their addiction kind of checks out for me.
Wine moms.
Wine moms. Fair.
They are all wine moms. Oh my god.
Yeah, that's totally
Now
fair.
I want them to bring in the cast of the Desperate Housewives to be the Saladar Aes Sedai.
Oh my god. No, they're the White Tower. They're the Red Aja.
No, the Desperate Housewives are great.
Aja.
The Desperate Housewives are all. That show's fantastic.
I've never seen it.
It's
never watched it.
Like, if you were to go like if I was going to cast like a group of housewives from television as the White Tower Red Aja Elias team, I would go with a like Real Housewives cast.
Oh, okay, sure.
Desperate Housewives was fantastic. Great show. Really, like, honestly, really great show.
Yeah.
It was one of like the few representations of like middle-aged women that actually allows them to be like full 3-dimensional humans the way they are in real life.
Right.
And more than one, right? Sometimes there's like the one woman that you're like, oh yeah, they allowed a 45-year-old woman to be a 45-year-old woman. Desperate Housewives allowed them all to do it.
That's fine.
It was a really great show.
I've never seen it. I like the Real Housewives of Salad Bar.
Real Housewives of Salad Bar.
We should make that show.
We should make that shirt. The real.
Yeah. And just a glass of wine.
And it's just Shariam and.
Yeah. I love it.
Okay. All right. We need to keep moving.
Sorry. Yeah.
We're an hour and 14 minutes in. We've done 3 chapters.
I mean, these were the heavier ones, I think.
No, we still haven't gotten to Rand being attacked. We still haven't gotten to I Love You. Oh my God, you guys! This show has the construction ruined me, and I'm off the rails.
So they fight off the Dark One's taint bubble, and a bunch of the soldiers die, unfortunately, because there
are no Aes Sedai there to save them,
and there were weapons flying around.
But they link, and then one person is batting down like pots and pans and shit, and I just feel like they should have not linked. Yeah, I think it would have been better to just, because it's not like the action of what they're doing doesn't take a lot of power.
Yes.
And so it's a bunch of actions. You would think that like link 2 at a time and then knock down pots and pans and stuff.
So that's why this is another failing of the Aes Sedai, right? Anaya is like, oh no, we have had a plan for when Samael attacks. And Nynaeve is like, this isn't Samael. And Anaya does not believe her. She thinks they're about to fight the Forsaken, right? Which is why she kind of like preemptively links, right? She's like, oh crap, we are going to need all the like manpower that we can get. She doesn't understand it's literally pots and pans flying around. I agree. I think if they had individually gone off and been able to stop the items from attacking people, that it would have been better. But yeah, they thought it was a Forsaken attack, and she's like, we have a plan, and she's so cocky and sure of herself, and Nynaeve is like, okay, I'm telling you that's not what it is, but here we go. I actually thought that was really fascinating. And God, sometimes the Aes Sedai are so dumb. They don't like to listen to anybody.
So before we move on to the next chapter, I do want to bring up Nicola's. In the middle of all of this attack, Nicola has a prophecy.
Yes.
So let's talk about it. Nicola spoke, sounding half asleep. The lion sword, the dedicated spear, she who sees beyond. 3 on the boat, and he who is dead yet lives. The great battle done, but the world not done with battle. The land divided by the return, and the guardians balance the servants. The future teeters on the edge of a blade.
Yeah, so we get a reflection of this, actually, with Rand and his school buddy, his researcher guy, starts with an H.
Yeah,
Anyways, we get a reflection of that where he's like, you know what? I don't think that the last battle is...
Tarmangaden?
That's the one. Yes. He's like, I don't think that those are the same. And Rand's like, what do you mean? That's so silly. And he's like, I don't know. I don't think so. And I think that that is a strong parallel to what we get here, halfway across the world, which is really cool. Is that the last battle done, but the world not done with battle. Like, I think that the finale of the books is going to be a more intricate, smaller scale of the aftermath of like the war of like the big battle and trying to pick the pieces and put them back together.
Can I make a prediction for what the final sentence of the books is?
Sure.
Can I make a bold prediction?
A bold prediction.
This is end of Memory of Light. Not like any like pro or epilogue-y kind. You know how like he sometimes has like a poem from the Corinthian Cycles. Not Corinthian Cycles. Corinthian Cycles is a real thing. Can I predict the final line?
The final line. Let's go for it. Y'all take notes.
It wasn't the end, but it was an end.
Wow. Yeah. Okay. I can see that.
It wasn't the end, but it was an end. I'm calling it right now. It is what? It is August 5th, 2022. We're not going to finish these books for like a year from now.
Yeah. So,
But I think I genuinely predict that.
Yeah.
I think like, and the reason I predict it is because of the moment in the library with the guy being like, this is what's going to happen. Right?
Yeah.
And that there will be another. And so I literally think an end. Yeah.
Yeah.
Because it's a reflection, because it's a wheel, and it's always like, it wasn't the beginning, but it was a beginning.
Yeah, absolutely.
It's going to go full fucking circle. And then we're going to end with, it was an end, and I'm going to cry, and I'm going to be like a mess for like 3 days.
Yeah, guys, when we're finished this series, we're going to need a week to recover. I'm calling it right now.
Okay, so let's do this. Who's the Lion Sword?
The Lion Sword, I think, is Gawain.
Oh, I thought it was Gareth Brine. Interesting. Gawain makes sense. Or it could be Galad.
So does Gareth Brine. Here's the thing. No, I do not think it's Galad, only because Galad was born beforehand, right? Like, Gawain is, his entire life is to be basically the protector of Elaine. That is his whole being. And he is kind of the Lion's Sword.
That makes sense.
So that's why I think it's Gawain, personally.
Okay, who's the dedicated spear?
The dedicated spear might be Avienda.
Oh no, I'm so dumb.
Unless it's Matt.
No, it's not.
Let me read it.
The Lion's Sword is Elaine. The dedicated spear is Avienda, and she who sees beyond is Min. It's Rand's three women.
Rand's
three on the boat, and he who is dead is Matt.
He who is dead yet lives.
It's Rand's three women and Matt.
Yeah. You're right. The Lion's Sword.
It's Elaine. It's the three women. Oh, of course. Oh my God. It's so obvious now.
Yeah. Great battle done, but the world not done with battle. Do you think that like Rand is like kind of like out of commission, and that it's the four of them who actually wrap up the books?
No, it's a prediction for the end of this book.
This book?
Yes, the three women, because I've been saying since last book, I've been saying since the full book recap, Rand is getting like kidnapped or something, because there's been too many hints about. The reason I think that is there's been too many like playing with Rand. With how the women can control men, the Adam that ship captain has, there's just been so much talk about these ways to take a man off the board. I think Rand is gonna get kidnapped, and the rescuing party will be his three ladies and Matt.
I'm going to counter you.
Okay, let's go.
And this is a bold prediction because I have absolutely zero.
So this is what she says is about to be correct.
It's okay. And he who is dead yet lives is going to be Asmodean.
Oh, fuck.
That's my bold prediction. Is that he's not actually gone.
I don't know. I think Asmodean's dead. I genuinely like. I feel like
I do
said.
as well.
I know.
That's why I say it's a both. It is literally a swing and probably a huge miss. I think it's funny if it were him, because I really like him as a character. Anyways, yes, the He Who Is Dead Yet Lives. I think the most obvious choice is Matt for sure. But I think Asmodean would be really cool because then the girls would know who he is. Like, he would have... I don't know. There would have to be some, like, really cool plot stuff for this to happen, but... that's what I want it to be. Because here's the thing. Matt is so far away fighting battles. Like, I don't know. It would be harder, I think, for Matt, potentially.
Remember when we said there wasn't much to talk about this chapter, and we're 90 minutes in, and we're on the third chapter?
So there's actually a lot of prophecies and dreams and predictions in this section.
I know,
we actually do have a lot to talk about.
We should have moved quicker at the beginning. I did not realize it was going to be...
The land divided by the return is obviously Randland falling apart by the return of the Aiel, right?
No, it's the Sanchin. The return is the name of this.
The return. Yes.
It's the return. It's capital R return, which is because the Sanchin have landed in Tanchico.
Yeah.
Which, if you look at the map of Randland, guys, maps. Aiel don't use them, but Nerdy fucking Knightley does.
Yeah.
Okay. Which is gonna get into an Egwene thing in a second that I want to bring up.
Okay.
But if you look at a map, Tanchico's like kind of in the middle on the bottom. And so I think the Sanchin are literally like a spear point driving up through the middle of Randland, and that is the return dividing the land.
Right. Okay. And the Guardians balance the servant?
It's Sean Bean. Sean Bean has lived and died many times.
It is definitely Sean Bean. You are correct.
If they got Sean Bean to play Asmodean, I would be so happy, and he just dies like almost immediately. It would bring me so much joy.
I think he's not like... I don't know. He's a little too, like... I don't know. I couldn't see Sean Bean as Asmodean. I'm telling you
right now, if you got Sean Bean to play a harp and sing for me, my panties would be moist.
Fair enough.
I would be dripping.
All right, so the Guardians balance the servants. Is that also a Sanchin thing, do you think?
The Guardians balance the servants.
Yeah.
I have no idea what that is. That's the one part of it that I have no idea.
The future teeters on the edge of a blade. I mean, obviously
that's just true.
That's
just a statement.
Truth, yeah. Sean Bean as Belal. He shows up and he's done.
That would be fun, actually.
That would be great.
That would be really good.
Yeah.
Sean Bean could also be a really good Raven.
Yeah.
Like Sean Bean, like no joke, Sean Bean would crush Raven. He might be a... You know what? If you were to like do a little bit of CGI on his face to make him look like he has that Aes Sedai agelessness.
The agelessness, yeah.
He Sean Bean would be perfect for Raven. Glenn, thank you so much for that super chat. You use the maps but not the glossary. That is true. We do not read the glossary. The glossary is dark and full of spoilers.
Yeah, the glossary is spoiler territory.
So Egwene, throughout this section, Egwene is talking about how she doesn't know where Saladar is.
Yeah.
And I'm like, oh, why doesn't Egwene just look at the maps? And then they're like, oh, the Aiel don't use maps. And I was like, oh, that makes sense. Egwene literally can't look at a map for where Saladar is because she doesn't have maps.
Oh, right, because the Aiel literally don't
use them.
Yep.
And also she's trying to find it in the dream world, and it's not necessarily in the same place. But, like, that doesn't really make sense to me, but whatever. We'll move on from it. Yeah. Egwene wakes up. She has breakfast. She eats 2 bowls of porridge.
Wow.
The wise women are very happy. She remembers her dreams from the night before.
Yeah.
Because after she had the sex with Gawain.
The sex.
She had a dream of... she had a couple of dreams. She dreams of Perrin with a hawk and falcon on his shoulders and a wolf at his feet.
Which we've kind of
Who is
seen
the
before.
hawk?
The hawk is
that
Berelain.
You think that she's going to come back into Perrin's story here?
Because her sigil thing is a hawk. Literally. And in the vision from before, the hawk is trying to like put a like collar, I think, on the on Perrin.
Kinky.
Yes, and we know Berelain is kinky.
That's true.
So yes, I think she's the hawk.
Another dream of Perrin is him running away from his axe, but it keeps following him.
That's just
his life
taint bubble.
Then she dreams of Matt speaking the old tongue. That just him all the time.
Yeah.
And sees 2 ravens on his shoulders, talons digging into his flesh. Do you think the ravens are like representations of the elfin, Eilfin people?
Maybe. Aren't there ravens on the spear?
Yeah, that's why I'm saying like that the digging, like the people beyond the veil of the Tel'aran'rhial
they have like a hold on him.
Tel'aran'rhial are like digging in. Other than that, I don't know who the other ravens are, unless ravens are something to do with the 9 moons.
I don't think so, but...
She also sees a shrouded woman beckoning him into danger.
Matt?
Who's beckoning Matt into danger?
Definitely the person he's supposed to marry.
Interesting. I was thinking it might be like Graendal or Semirage. Like his next Forsaken after he helps take down Samael, who is going to die in this book, right? This truce bullshit, not true.
Oh, the truce is obviously bullshit, but I don't know if he dies this one.
Her dreams shift to Rand. She sees Elaine forcing him to his knees. Elaine, Min, and Avienda around him.
Hot.
Do you think that Elaine forces Rand to his knees?
She bonds him.
Do you think so?
Yeah. She has said that is her one goal in life.
Yeah, but like, how does that work?
Rand.
Like, does Alana die, or
no? I think she spanks Alana until she changes the bond, like Moraine did with Lan.
But then, is it forcing Rand to his knees, or is it just like a transfer of ownership? Right? Do they go down to the DMV with the bill of sale?
That's so weird. But here's the thing: we know it has been implied that the Aes Sedai can kind of control their warders, and I think
we've never seen them control their warders.
No, but we know it's possible. And
I don't know. I don't think it is with Rand. I think that his power would supersede that. You know what I mean? Like, I feel like she's not gonna be able to use a compulsion on him, right? He would break it. And so I think that... No,
not compulsion. I think that the warder bond is different.
But I think that the warders that we've seen listen to their Aes Sedai because of a level of respect and, duty to their Aes Sedai. I think that, Lan feels like the duty is heavier than a mountain.
No, I'm going to add a small corner. I think that Rand is a sub. I think that Rand is a sub and Elaine is a dom.
Rand is not a sub.
He's one of those CEOs who has to make too many decisions, and in his sex life, he's like, someone just fucking peg me. Like
Rand is not a sub. Rand does not like being told what to do. At all.
Okay, but
he doesn't. But but it's not that he has to be in control. It's that he legitimately does not like being told what to do.
Okay.
And he has trust issues.
But neither do I.
We're not getting into that here. Because that's not true. That isn't true. You love being told what to do.
No, I don't. No. If I know
I can't bring up proof because it's too shaming. We can't talk about this because we can't reveal things on the podcast. You should not have brought yourself into this.
I'm just saying, I get it. Rand definitely is sub.
You and Rand are very different.
Wow.
You know what though? I bet Rand turns off the lights before he goes to bed. So
only because he doesn't want to see Avienda naked, okay?
Where are we? Guys, this show's a mess. What the fuck is happening?
The construction threw us off. So we're at chapter 15, and Eleda's embassy leaves. There's a whole thing where they're like, okay, bye, peace out. And no information is given. Mm-hmm. We know that they've asked for more time to consider the proposal.
Yeah.
And that's about it. There's really not a lot of information given to anyone in this moment. I think everyone's a little pissed about it.
But Nynaeve and Elaine do approach them about going to Ebudar, and they say no.
They say no, and the girls let them have it, and then they have to scrub pots again.
Yeah.
That's basically what happens.
And Nynaeve apologizes for losing her temper. What the fuck is this book?
Yeah.
I think Robert Jordan read the criticisms of Fires of Heaven. I'm not kidding.
Our podcast.
No, I actually think, because I've read the reviews of the book, and even all the way back to when Fires of Heaven came out, the number one criticism of that book that I've seen online in reviews of it is that the Nynaeve and Elaine stuff it didn't go over well with people.
I think he probably just meant for it to go that direction anyways.
Maybe, but it just feels like she is actually a character who learns from her own mistakes in this book in a way that this is what I wanted from her.
Yes.
And I just feel like they spent so much time with her last book not learning this lesson, but I feel like the incidents that should have led to her learning this lesson were more apparent in the last book than in this one.
Mm-hmm.
Like, less is happening here.
Yeah.
And so that's it's just what I find interesting about it.
Yeah.
I feel like if some of this had started a little bit earlier, I would have enjoyed Fires of Heaven more.
I also think that it might be her also trying to like take down her block.
That's true too.
Right? Like trying to detach herself from like being angry all the time.
Mm-hmm.
Right? So I think it is an accumulation of like a lot of things, but it was very nice to see. So thank you for that.
I think it also helps that Nynaeve and Elaine's story arc in this book has a purpose, whereas like in Fires of Heaven, it really is just spinning their wheels trying to get to Salad Bar.
Yeah.
And I think the worst part, the hardest thing in terms of writing for Fires of Heaven is that for a lot of the book, Nynaeve and Elaine just don't know where they're going. Like literally they're just waiting for Nynaeve to remember the name of the city.
Yeah.
And so the book, their chapters just have this sort of like spinning in place kind of feel to it, because they're just kind of like getting through the days until Nynaeve remembers a word.
Yeah.
Whereas in this book, there's a lot more narrative motion in what they are actively trying to do and what they're trying to accomplish.
Yeah.
And there are more consequences in their immediate vicinity for failing to keep the lies up and failing to keep all of these plates spinning. So I just think it's inherently more interesting here than it was for me in Fires of Heaven.
Yeah. No, I'm
enjoying Nynaeve's story a lot this book.
Yes. I'm 100% with you. If you too are enjoying the growth, smash that like button.
Yeah, smash it.
Smash.
Yeah. Just rub your taint all over it.
That's not, no.
So, yeah, we go to Saladar. They're not allowed to go to Abu Dar. And then,
Yeah.
we get a little bit of Shariam right at the end here. And
just a little bit.
I don't know why this is here.
Me neither.
I genuinely read it and I was like...
I wasn't able to infer anything from it.
I read it a couple times. I was like, yeah, we knew they don't know what they're... Like, there was no new information in it.
Yeah.
I guess it was confirmation of what we already knew, but like...
Yeah.
I was like, okay, yeah, Shariam's like, don't know what we're doing.
Yeah. I was like, okay. I tried to find something in this like little paragraph and I was like...
Me too. I really did. I was like, I read a few times. I was like, yeah, there's nothing here.
Yeah.
Chapter 16, The Tellings of the Wheel. Oh my god, we have to move.
We
have
got
to
Rand.
We do. Rand finds out that Tigraine is his mom.
Yeah.
Because he's like, hey, that woman ran away around the same time my mom showed.
Yes.
Guys, Tigraine's he leaps from Tigraine ran away to Tigraine is my mom so fast.
It's funny because like we already knew it, but like I don't know. Yeah, Rand is very like.
Yeah. No, but we knew it, but Rand goes, I accept this wholeheartedly and I have no doubts. Just so quickly.
Well, and I love that he has a panic attack later
Yeah.
and is basically like, I'm not related to Elaine, right?
I'm not dreaming about my sister naked, right?
Thank God. I'm glad that was included in the book. Here's the thing. People keep telling him that that's who he looks like.
Yeah.
So I get it. I get that like jump to that conclusion. It like because people wouldn't keep saying it if it wasn't that. I don't know. It's not that far fetched for me.
It just is interesting now that he has a claim to the throne and he knows it.
Yeah.
And he's like
I don't care.
He's like, oh, no one can find out because
Yeah.
I do not want. Everyone is like accusing him. Morghese is accusing him of wanting to be king of Andor. Elaine is upset with him for wanting to be king of Andor, and secretly he has a claim to it, and he's like, nah, I'm good.
No,
I
don't want it. I also love that his interactions with the Camelin nobles are very different than the ones from the other places, right?
Mm-hmm.
Like they're not trying to be like sneaky and plotting. They're very straightforward, and it was a really nice breath of fresh air. And the others, I love that the others are like supporting this one as like they're next in line for the throne, and she's like, no, I'm not. It's Elaine.
Mm-hmm.
And Rand is like, no, this throne is for Elaine. I think that it's really fascinating, and I wonder if any of that is like Robert Jordan's commentary on like a woman queen versus like a male king. Like how things were run and shaped. Just because
I don't know.
like Yeah, I don't know either. I thought it was interesting.
People in the chat are saying Andor doesn't have kings, Andor has queens. That is true, but Rand, I don't know if you guys know this, but he is the Dragon Reborn.
Yeah.
And he breaks things everywhere he goes.
Yeah, and Raven was also the king for a bit, like.
Yeah, also, Andor literally just had a king for like the last 6 months.
Yeah.
So I hear what you're saying, and you're right. And I think that Rand wants to keep that tradition going.
Mm-hmm.
But without a doubt, Rand changes the political structure of literally every place he goes to.
Yeah.
He broke the Aiel. He broke Kyrian. He broke Tyr.
Yeah.
Like, Rand... I don't know if you've noticed, but Rand has literally become the ruler of every single place he's been.
Pretty much, yeah.
Except Falma.
Alien
He's not the ruler
next.
of Falma yet.
No, Alien is next. Yeah. Interesting. And then we get a weird messenger.
Yeah, Samael wants a truce, and then Rand's like, no, and the guy blows up.
Yeah, basically. Cool. Here's the thing, I don't think Samael wanted a truce.
Hey, Rafe, buddy, my good old pal, do this practically. Please. We saw what melty human looks like in CGI on Miss Marvel recently. Please do this practically. It's gonna look better.
Yeah.
Don't do CGI. Hire a cool monster shop and do this explosion practically. Because A, I want to see it, and B, practical human melting is better than CGI human melting 10 times out of 10.
Yeah, really blow someone up.
No. Do not murder Rafe. The show will get canceled, and then I won't get any more of it. Which means I won't get more Daniel Henney's land, and that would be a tragedy.
True.
Do this practically. It'll be cool. I'll do it. I will show up. I will melt a plastic body, and like it'll look rad.
Yeah. We love practical human melting.
Yeah, we do love practical human melting.
Yeah.
Nerdy Nightly. We love practical human melting.
Guys, I don't know what the problem is. Indiana Jones is like perfect.
The Raiders of the Lost Ark melting looks great to this day. Raiders of the Lost Ark holds up.
Oh yeah.
That movie is so well shot.
It is definitely a fun watch for sure. Yes, no murder, no actual melting of humans. Yeah.
You know who would be a great Gareth Bryan? He's probably too old now, but would have been a great Gareth Bryan like 10 years ago.
Is
Harrison Ford. Hey Swana, why aren't you coming out? You didn't fulfill.
You know who he could be now? He could be Tom Maryland if Tom Maryland wasn't already cast.
He's not limber at all.
Fair.
The man has crashed 2 planes. The man has crashed 2 planes and survived both of them.
He could be Niall.
Harrison Ford is Taviran.
Pedro Niall.
Harrison Ford has to be Taviran.
Yes.
He literally was making a fucking cabinet for George Lucas. A cabinet. He was building a cabinet and got cast as Indiana Jones. And then he crashed 2 planes and survived both of them.
Yeah, Harrison Ford is Taviran.
He's either Taviran or he's Jesus, because he's a carpenter who got it all. God damn, dude.
Wow.
So,
Jesus. Incredible. That's kind of that's what happens.
Rand is like, okay, we're going to... So the guy blows up. Rand is like, oh, that was weird. Let's go to Kyrian, because I gotta get away from Alana. That girl is in my head.
She's in my head.
Chapter 17, The Wheel of a Life.
Rand goes to Kyrian.
Yeah, and finds out that Mangan walks up to him and is like, yo, dude, I murdered a dude for pretending to be a chief. And Rand is like, God damn it, man.
No, not for pretending to be a chief. For getting a tattoo. He wasn't like, yeah, I'm a clan chief, har, har, har. He got a tattoo.
Yeah, but the tattoo is like, it's a religious symbol.
Yes, but the fucking wetlanders don't know that.
That has never stopped humanity from murdering each other in the past.
Sure, I'm just saying. I think Mangan went a little overboard. Little bit.
Yeah.
Just a little.
Yeah. I don't think he went. I don't think this is outside the realm of what human beings do. I think that there are tattoos that people have killed over in the past, and there will be tattoos that people kill over in the future.
Yeah.
Because there are some symbols that you do not put on your body.
Yeah.
In Japan, a lot of people don't get tattoos because of the history of tattoos being a yakuza practice.
Yeah.
Like when I went to the bathhouse in Japan, I had to cover this with a Band-Aid because I wasn't allowed to have an exposed tattoo in the onsen.
Yeah.
In Odaiba.
Yeah.
And so like tattoos historically mean a lot of things. Look at the
Maori?
Yeah, what is it called?
I'm not sure what they are called. But...
It isn't a tattoo, right?
Yeah.
It's not like a fun thing that they do. It is a spiritual practice that really matters to them. And you don't just do that kind of art on your face because it is so disrespectful. And so this is a similar situation where for Mangan, this guy, putting that on his forearm is similar to putting the a Maori face tattoo on,
100%. Right? Is it justification for murdering people? No. Especially when they don't know. Especially when they don't know what they're doing is wrong in that way or what it means to the Aiel. I do like that what Mimang says, that a fake tattoo started the Shido War. Literally.
A fake tattoo literally. Yeah.
The fake tattoo.
How many thousands of people have died because Couladin got a fake tattoo, right? So
does Couladin know that Asmodean gave it to him? Or does he think that he actually got them? Or he's dead now, so it doesn't matter.
I guess we'll never find out. I actually don't know. That's an interesting question.
Yeah,
Does he know it came from a Forsaken?
Yeah, does he know where the tattoos came from? But yeah,
he doesn't know much. His head is on a spike.
It was one of those moments where I'm like, look, he had a right to be pissed off for sure, right? But these people are so ignorant. They're like trying to take up Giotto, however you pronounce it. They're trying to they are trying to emulate the Aiel in a way that they don't understand what they're really doing, and they don't understand why it would upset them, right? Like they are literally like kind of blundering children. And this guy got a tattoo either because he thought it was cool or because like I don't know. He probably just thought it was cool. He was like, this is what the Aiel do, and then was showing it off drunk to his friends, and then got murdered for it. Like, obviously that's not cool.
But we do see this, right? Like this happens in cultures in our world all the time. There have been so many documented cases of like the culture of the even after the winners of the war have left their occupation of the country, there's like an obsession with their culture. Yeah. Right? That follows in the country that they've invaded or whatever. And so, I mean, it totally makes sense what's happening. Honestly, I love the storytelling of the Kyrians picking up Aiel culture.
Yeah, because it's fascinating. They've been conquered twice by them.
And the Aiel hate them. Yeah. So it's literally dressing up as people who would happily slit your throat.
Yeah. They're like, I wanna be like one of you. Right?
I want to be like you. Ooh,
yeah.
I want to walk like you, talk like you. I want to be like you.
But the thing is, like,
it's true.
The Aiel are so complicated, and the Kyrians do not understand what they're doing.
Here's the thing. If this was in Camelin, I don't think Mangan would have killed him. I think that it is a tree killer. Yeah, I really do think that it is a different thing for it to be a tree killer to wear it versus a wetlander. A wetlander. Yeah.
For sure. And I think that the Aiel idea of all of the tree killers being as guilty as Lemon is silly.
Well, it's the same problem I have with the White Cloaks having their like 7 generation, 10 whatever it was, 5 generation, 7 generation sin rule.
What? That's so fucked up. Like here's the thing. Like 99.9% of the tree killers weren't within like 100 feet of whatever happened. You know what I mean? Like,
why did you choose 100 feet?
Well, I don't know, like 10 feet. Doesn't matter. I would say
that 100% of the people who were within 100 feet of it aren't around anymore.
Well, no, I mean like
100 feet is not that far.
Or like you know what I mean? Like it was Lamin and it was one person and he did a dumb thing. And, like, the Aiel blame the farmers for it.
I know, but the number of people who were within a football field of the tree when it was cut down, it's just a very weird distance that you chose.
Well, but, like, there's people that are literally, like, the farmers.
Oh, no, I hear what you're saying.
They don't they had no hand in it, right? Like, they they take it to such an extreme that like that is I find the IEL culture fascinating. I think they're the most interesting people that we've met so far. But this idea that this one guy did something terrible and that it's everyone's fault for it who lived in this vicinity, like, yeah.
Yeah, no, I agree with you. I think it's kind of the IEL are a nightmare. Look, they're so fun to read. I would not want to spend any time with them.
Yeah.
Right? Like they're not a culture of people that I like want to hang out with.
No, I think they're hilarious, but that's just me.
No, funny. But also like if you tell the wrong joke, they might will die. They will just beat you.
Yeah. They might just give you a spanking.
Like, look, I'm just not a fan of getting hit by other people very much. So like I'm good, thanks. They're so cool. One of the coolest cultures I've ever read in a book, right?
Totally, yes.
I've literally zero desire to meet any of them.
Yeah.
In real life.
Yeah.
As opposed to like I would hang out with Morghese. She seems chill.
Yeah.
We would go to the opera together and we would like giggle about it like schoolgirls. Morghese and I would be good friends.
I absolutely believe that. Yeah.
Oh yeah, fuck. Me and Morghese would like ham it up. Yeah. I would be her court jester. We'd have a good time. I'd be a little bit jealous of her relationship with Gareth Bryan, but I'd be confused about which one of them I want more.
Was jealous of? Yeah.
Like,
you'd try to get in Gareth? Between them at the same time.
Happily.
Yeah.
Oh god, that would be great.
That would be fun. Morghese is a Jagerbomb girl. Oh my god.
I see, and this is why Morghese and I would get along. We'd be dropping them J-bombs.
Anyways, so Rand is like, well, fuck, I like this guy, but he's got to be hanged. And then he gets mad at Berelain and Rourke for being like, you guys know what the law, like, why do I have to come here and tell you guys to do the thing you knew what to do? So.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like brother says, so you would be Tom Maryland? Yeah.
Yeah.
One day my mustache will be long enough and I will be Tom Maryland.
Great.
So the good news, Mangan is like, okay, I'll be there. Cool.
Yeah, he's like, we have...
They don't lock him up. So. They literally are like, all right, we'll give you a time and place later. And he's like, yeah, I'll show up. Don't worry about that. I'm just going to go back to I'm going to go keep doing my Yale shit until then. Yeah. So we find out that trade is opening back up. So, like, Rand has done some good for the world.
Yeah, there are some good things.
And there are the sea folk, the Athan Mier, have docked in the harbor. And Rand is like, that's weird. We will deal with that next week.
Yeah, literally.
And then...
Because this is the second time we've seen that.
Rand is like, yo, I want to go to school.
Rand pulls Avatar The Last Airbender... and goes to school. No,
that's the worst episode from season 3.
He doesn't actually go.
How dare you reference that terrible episode?
Yeah, I know you love it so much.
I really don't.
I know. So Rand goes to the school and he gives a grant to the eyeglass guy, which we already talked about. There's some really cool contraptions. There's a guy who's making like a steam engine, I think. Which is cool.
And the guy making the steam engine is like, he might as well have been like, and this will cause the Industrial Revolution.
Yeah, pretty much.
His like, there's a couple of the inventions where like, it's so obvious what they are, but it's so on the nose that they've like already kind of figured it out and how important it's going to be for society.
I love that we meet the woman who made the scorpion spear thrower contraption that we saw in the battle. Very cool.
She's awesome. I like the idea of this school a lot.
Me too.
I think it's really cool to have a fantasy show where they actually do kind of take some time to go, hey, the technology advances in societies.
Yeah.
Because like one of my problems with Game of Thrones is that we're going to see House of the Dragon, and I have a feeling the technology between House of the Dragon, based on the suits of armor and the weapons, the swords that we've seen in the show, there's no innovation between House of the Dragon and Game of Thrones.
Yeah.
And I find that really strange. Like, if you look back at how weapons changed throughout history, you can really see, like, you can literally see what, like, 50-year period swords are from based on their style.
Well, yeah, because you would have swords that would improve, and then you would need to change the armor to improve to match that, and then the swords would be less effective, so they would use spears or crossbows or whatever it was. Well, and right?
the big one for weapon development was the English longbow. Because up until the English longbow, so much of warfare was fought with plate mail, right? And so when they developed a bow that could pierce plate mail at a distance, it became more important to be able to move faster.
Yeah.
Right? And so plate mail kind of went away in order to be able to be more nimble. And so swords didn't have to cleave through mail anymore. And so everything became a pointy weapon.
Yes.
And
you didn't have the huge Zweihander thingy.
Yeah. And so
they're
you
cumbersome.
can, but you can literally track how technology changed based on these developments.
It's fascinating.
And fantasy worlds that have prequels that are hundreds of years in the past, or like Randland a little bit, where they're like Arthur Hawkwing kind of fought with the same stuff as we fight now.
Yeah.
It makes the world feel less real to me. And so this sequence truly, no, and I mean this 100%.
Sorry, yeah.
This sequence makes Randland one of the most interesting fantasy worlds I've ever read, because it's one of the few that has had the vision to talk about where the world is going. And the possibility of innovation in the future. Yeah. And I love that. This is really Robert Jordan being like, hey, look, this is a fantasy world, but it's also real.
Yeah.
Right?
Yes.
And that's incredible.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, I appreciate this touch, you know, and I think that the school is going to be very important later. Obviously, Rand talks to the guy who's studying. Mike, thank you for the
Mike, thanks so much for that.
Chat.
Imagine Rand writing the charter of his school saying, I have memories from the Age of Legends. Here are several things you should look into.
Flying bug vehicles.
Do you guys want to build a helicopter?
Yeah. Oh man. Yeah, so we've got what's his face? You might have the name there. Who has been like studying the dragon.
Fell.
What?
Fell.
Fell? I thought it started with an H.
Isn't his name Fell? Herod Fell. Yeah, you're right.
Oh, yeah. We were both right. Yeah. Herod. Yeah, fascinating. He doesn't realize. He does realize, but he just like forgets that Rand is the literal dragon reborn.
Dakota, have you guys tried splitting the atom?
Yeah. Could you get on that for me, please?
There's a moment about that in Sandman. I'm so excited for Sandman, you guys. As soon as this is done, we're gonna start recording reactions to that show because I'm so excited.
Yeah.
But splitting the atom is a really important part of one of the characters in Sandman.
Oh.
And I can't wait for it. I'm so excited. Although it probably won't be in season 1.
Interesting. Okay. Yeah, so we already kind of talked about him saying Tarmangaiden is not the last battle, potentially. Mm-hmm. So that's cool. Mm-hmm. Yeah. Very interesting. And did he bring up anything else that was like very significant? I didn't write down anything else.
Some people are correcting me on my like plate mail longbow timeline. I'm not an expert on this. I want to be really clear. If I'm wrong about like the timeline of it, I totally understand that. The point that I'm making isn't about the like literal timeline of it, but it is about the concept of technology advancing even within like 50-year periods, right?
Yeah.
And how important it is to show that within a fantasy world for me to feel like this world actually exists and that there are people actually like trying to make the world a better place. Mm-hmm. So I am not an expert on weapons technology. I just want to be clear. I'm not like making some statement as an expert. Yeah, I'm just a guy who enjoys kind of like being on the fringe of learning about it and would love to dive in more into it, but I don't have time to become an expert. Yeah. If you are an expert in the chat, inform us because I am not going to die on this hill. I'm probably wrong a little bit, but the point is a compliment for Robert Jordan's writing.
Yeah. Like it brings that element of like realism into it and makes it a little less like fantastical in that sense where it's a bit more relatable, and I think that that's very cool.
So Egwene, we cut to Egwene. Or no, Fel actually says some really important stuff about Tarmangaiden. We brought it up earlier though, so I don't think we really need to talk about it again.
Yeah,
right?
Yeah.
So Egwene, we cut to Egwene, and Egwene is running around.
You know what could penetrate through plate armor though?
This dick.
No, sorry, Narayan, I'm stealing your joke. Fireworks could make like a man-sized hole right through you.
I don't know that it could.
All right, okay.
No, but so how would a firework pierce plate armor? Because here's the problem with it, right? You would have to. The problem with it is that there would be so many easier ways for that energy to escape out. So you would have to build the plate armor around it, and then maybe it could.
I have regrets.
But like if you put a firework next to plate armor, I think that the plate armor would be mostly unhurt.
Yeah.
I don't know. I've seen people like have a firework blow up in their hand and they only lost a finger.
So Egwene goes to Rand and asks for his help.
Philip, no, we're not done with this. Philip Greisel says a shaped charge. Why would a firework be a shaped charge?
I don't know what that means.
Why would you? Oh my God, no, we're moving on. So Egwene is like, Avienda, what's up? And she's like, I gotta go to a Wise One meeting. And Egwene's like, oh, I'll come. And Avienda's like, no, you won't. You're not
Disappears.
invited.
Yeah.
And Egwene's like, oh.
I'm sorry,
I was
guys.
kind of hoping I would be invited, but okay.
Yeah, they have not spent a lot of time together.
But apparently Egwene runs into Soralia. And Soralia describes a bunch of naked men to Egwene.
Yeah. She's like, I know you have a crush on somebody. Is it that guy?
His dick is big.
Yeah. Or is it that guy?
He's a shower. That guy's a grower, but when it grows, let me tell you, you have to scrape a lot of sweat off the sides of it in the sweat tent, if you know what I mean.
Oh my God.
Your arm's gonna get sore scraping all the sweat off that.
Anyways,
erection.
Soralia is basically a matchmaker.
And she says that Egwene's hips are meant for babies.
Yeah, that was weird.
And what's Egwene's response to that? Gawain's babies.
Yeah. Literally, she's like, oh my word.
And then we, guys, it's been 2 hours. Oh my God, we're so fucked. It's gonna be a 3-hour show. I'm so sorry.
Perry Wolf, thank you for the
Perry
super
Wolf.
chat.
We saw also what you did there, Clarice, right over his head.
Thank you. That's the way he likes it. Anyways, Egwene goes about asking for help the wrong way. And Rand is like, well, I want to know where Elaine is. And she's like, I can't tell you. And they're like, all right, I guess we're at an impasse.
So, what's over my head? I'm 6'4". You can't reach over my head.
I was lifting. Anyways.
Yeah, if I put you over my head. Anyway.
Yeah.
So, in Rand's apartment, she runs into someone. A new character.
Well, kind of new.
Surprise, motherfuckers.
She's been mentioned, but Avienda's sister. Yes, Avienda's sister was mentioned.
I read this and I was like, wait, Avienda has a sister who's Gai Shan?
Yeah.
I did not know that.
We knew that, right, chat? I'm not making this up. I'm almost positive that it was mentioned.
Maybe it was. I did not know.
But yeah.
My reflexes are too fast. I would catch it.
Now I feel weird. Did we not? Yes, we did. Okay, thank you. She was one that told the maidens Avienda was getting it on with Rand.
Oh, okay.
Right, thank you.
I must have missed that she was her sister.
Oh, really? Okay, yeah. They're definitely sisters. Yeah, she's a...
You mentioned that Nerdy had a similar reaction. I think that I was confused about first sisters and like real sisters. I thought she was a sister in that she was a maiden. I didn't think she was a sister as in she was like Avienda's like blood sister. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
But like she is her sister.
I feel very confusing. That is
There's so many
fair.
sisters. Like aren't all the Maidens of the Spear kind of sisters?
Spear sisters, yes. It's weird.
It's just a lot of sisters. And so this was the first time where I clued in that Niella was like
her
actual sister.
Enough. Yeah. Yeah, so she's Gaishan. And
apparently Avienda's really mean to her, which I think is hilarious.
Well, it's like when you grow up with sibling rivalry, it's literally an excuse to bully your sibling for all the shit that they put you through before. So I get it.
She won't tell. So Rand comes back and Rand is like, hey, look, I need Elaine to help stabilize Andor. And Egwene's like, can't help you. And he's like, why?
Sorry about it.
Fucking why?
I don't know why either. I legitimately don't understand.
I don't
get it. Because I feel like Egwene is going to want Rand to work with the good tower, the good white tower. The little tower is what they...
The little tower? That's what I call my penis.
Oh my God. No, she wants Rand to work with the little tower, and so keeping Elaine's location from him just seems like a bad idea. You know what I mean? I think that if Rand was able to actually meet with those Aes Sedai and talk to them and maybe form an alliance, and do you want to form an alliance?
Yes, I do.
Yes.
Yes, I
Good,
do.
excellent.
Good.
I just
A slightly above average tower. Spooters, how do you know so much about my penis? Are you my ex?
Nerdy's mastered the Swordworm Tower of the Morning.
I have not mastered it. It is a new adventure every single day.
Oh my god. Yeah, I don't know. Egwene pissed me off in this scene. I was like, girl, you could actually be helpful here, and you're not, so fuck you. So Rand gets pissed, and I wrote down that Rand, now that Moraine is gone, quotes her advice a lot.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Very interesting. God, I hope she comes back and she sees this. I really, really hope so, but I doubt it.
I hope they hug.
Yeah.
I hope Rand and Moraine just share like a really platonic but really sweet hug.
Hugs are nice.
So we cut to Rand's point of view, and he's like, yo, Egwene's changed.
Yeah.
And then he's like, all right,
So
I'm going to go to school.
Wait, to school? No, he just came back from school.
Or no, he's going out again. But he's going out. So then we cut to Sulin's point of view.
Right.
And we see that she gets a signal that Rand left. And so Rand has been like, you can only have 2 people follow me. And Sulin has been secretly having a lot more people follow him by like hiding under windows and shit. And I'm like, you're in the like, he's fine. He's in his bedroom.
Yeah. But then he does get ambushed later, so it's like,
Well, yeah, but that's in a street with everyone with him.
I guess.
Yeah.
Just interesting.
So then we go to chapter 19, Matters of Toe.
Toe.
Rand don't sleep too good.
Rand don't sleep too good. Yeah.
And so he's going out. He's got to go meet with people. He has to make sure that he meets with the Kyrians and the Terrans for the same amount of time, so they don't get all pissy with him.
Yeah.
And it seems like most of Rand's time right now was spent just trying to have people not be too pissy with him. And I feel bad. That's not a fun existence.
Yeah.
And so Rand is like, yo, I'm going back to Andor. And Berlane's like, yo, we're going to kill Mangan. And he's like, I'm not coming to that. Just kill him. Like, I don't need to be here every time you hang somebody.
Yeah, literally.
Just
like,
do it.
I'm leaving.
He also just doesn't want to watch a friend. He likes Mangan. I get it.
Yeah, I wouldn't want to be there either.
Melaine is like, yo, I'm coming with you. That feels important. I feel like Melaine coming back to Andor with him is important because she's like, I need to talk to my husband.
Yeah.
And by talk, I assume they're going to talk,
talk,
making a lot of noise like the one we heard earlier from next door. And then Rand opens a doorway and just like goes through it. And the maidens are like, dude.
Yeah. Him and Sulin have like a bit of a blow up.
Yeah, and Sulin's Gaishan now.
What?
By the end of this, we're going to talk about it, but I think that next time we see Sulin, she's going to be Gaishan. We'll get to there. We're not there yet, but we'll get to it. And that's kind of it.
Well, yeah, we get the Avienda.
She has some wise one dreams. So there's one with a man holding a dagger at Rand's throat, but Rand doesn't see him. Rand thinks it's a gray man, but I don't think it's a gray man.
I don't think it's a gray man either. It's so funny. Before we got to this section, I was literally like reading like a few days ago, and I was like, wow, you know who disappeared? The gray man. There's
probably not a lot of them, right?
Yeah,
so they're probably for very specific.
Yeah, but I was like, wow, we haven't seen those guys in a while.
It's interesting that they're not the ones sent after Matt to cut open his tent, that they sent Trollocs for that. You'd think that would have been...
No, they sent Aiel.
Oh, yeah, they right, it's the Shido.
Yeah.
But the Shido working with...
Yeah, it's
we'll get to that. We're not there yet. And then what were the other ones? One of him on a boat and scales tipping one way and then the other, which is a reflection of the boat from the other one with the world on a knife's edge.
Yeah.
Right? Mm-hmm. And then the last one Aviana shares is Rand cutting through the world like a scythe and cutting the world in twain. And Rand's like, yeah, I'm doing that.
Yeah.
Right now.
I'm
Thank
literally
you.
like
Thank you for that prediction
things.
of the thing that I'm currently doing.
Yeah.
And then Avienda pieces out, but she's like, yo, before you go to bed, tell me when you're going to go to bed so that I can be here before I don't want to like wake you up. And he's like, okay, girl.
All right.
Bye.
Okay.
Also, I'm in love with you.
What was that? The wind? Weird.
Yeah. And then we cut to Avienda's point of view. And Avienda is like, oh my god, it's so hard to be near Rand. I am so wet. End of chapter.
I mean, kind of.
That's it. She's just really horny every time she's near him.
Well, don't we get her and the other maiden? They do some hand talk.
Yeah, where Avienda's like, yes, I know that you can smell my secretions. I'm so horny. Rand gets me hot.
Yeah,
Goodbye.
I guess that is literally what happens.
Chapter 20. From the steading. That's right. I don't know why, but I feel like Elder Hammond talks like this.
I'm into it.
Rand Rand's about to get high. He's like, you know what? It's a good time to get high.
Truly.
When someone pops up and is like, yo, the Ogier are here. And I was like, oh my god. Loyal.
Yeah.
Perrin and Loyal have arrived. No, I should have read the chapter title. Because it's Loyal's mom!
It is. Loyal's
Hell
mom.
yeah! And his future wife.
Which is exactly what Loyal said. He's like, my mom's gonna come by with a wife in tow. And that is literally exactly what happens.
Yeah.
I found that very funny.
Oh my god, I love this so much. This gave me Entmoot vibes. Like too hardcore. They're like going off to behind the fountain to be like
we have
maps. Get me maps.
Oh my god.
And they are like, what's a map?
My favorite tree bird's
What's a mappa with you?
We have just agreed.
Yeah.
Yes, like.
Mike Klosky says, who would you cast as Loyal's mom? Mrs. Weasley, the actress who played Mrs. Weasley in the makeup. I think she'd crush it.
Absolutely.
I can't remember her name, but
she's fantastic. Yeah. Let's
and then
go.
I would cast Ginny Weasley in the makeup to be the wife, and I would just do like a little Harry Potter like Weasley reunion.
I love
and
that.
get Arthur Weasley to play Elder Hammond. Just get all three of them in the makeup. It would be super fun.
Oh my god, because why not?
Stephen Fry. Ooh, Stephen Fry is a good call.
That is a good one.
I feel like Dame Judi Dench is too small naturally. You'd want someone a little bit larger to build the makeup on. And she's also a little old. I feel like that all of that that might be hard on her.
Yeah. I love that like Rand is like, get me maps, run.
Yeah.
So it's like, oh my god, okay, fine.
Yvette Nicole Brown that would be so funny.
I'm not sure who that is.
Yvette Nicole Brown is she's an actress. She's in a lot of things.
I'm sure she's in a lot, funny. And I would know her face if I saw it.
Judi Dench for Sora Leah.
Yes.
She's translucent though. The amount of makeup to make her look like an Aiel.
No. Soralia is Soralia, because she's so like rail thin skin and bones, Aunt Petunia.
Oh yeah.
Aunt Petunia. Mm-hmm.
Oh my god, what's her name? I just was looking up.
We just saw her in a trailer.
Yeah. Lizzo.
Liz.
Yvette Nicole Brown is surely in Community. Yes, she is.
Mm-hmm.
Ooh, you know who would be good? Is the wife for Loyal is oh my god, from Nailed It. What is her name? The
host,
the
Nicole
host of
Byers?
Yeah, Nicole Byer as the like sassy Ogier who's like, I just want to marry him. I think it would be so funny. She'd be great. With like big eyebrows. If you want her to be really funny, I think she'd crush it.
Gwendolyn Christie as Loyal's mom. She's got the height for it.
Oh, I do
that
like
that.
That
would be fun.
I do like that. She's gonna be busy with Sandman for a few years, but we need to move on. We can't.
Yes.
We can't. We guys.
We'll do a
It's been 2 hours and 10 minutes, and we still have 6 chapters to talk about.
Yes, we do, and lots of important things.
So they're going to Shadar Lagoth.
Maps.
End of the chapter.
Basically, yeah. He's like, Elder Hammond, I need you to tell me where all the way gates are and the steadings.
And so Rand is like, I'm worried. Rand realizes that he's worried about Loyal going crazy from not being in the steading for so long.
Yeah.
And so he decides that he's like, if you take me to, if you do this for me, I will take you to, I'll take you closer to Emmonsfield.
Yes.
So Shadar Lagoth, they pop up in Shadar Lagoth. Rand is like, don't fucking touch anything, and then Leah dies because Leah's dumb.
Okay, no wait. My favorite moment though is when Rand is like, "We're going. Get me a 50 people," and she tells them that the dragon's in trouble, and they literally swing from like tapestries and like bust through windows, like veiled, and being like,
"What's going on?"
What? My favorite moment.
But importantly, she hand talks to the Gaishan.
Yeah.
She breaks Giato.
And that's why you think that she is
now Gaishan. I
Because
think next time
like
we see Sulin, because they say we will deal with this when we get back.
Yes.
And I think that she's now Gaishan. I think that she broke Giato.
Interesting.
She broke the rules of the Gaishan, and now she's.
Yeah.
I think Sulin has lost her place. She's no longer leading the maidens, and I think that like next Rand is gonna
Rand is gonna be
see a
upset
Guy
about
Shan
it.
and see her eyes and be like, Sylvan, what the fuck are you doing? And she's like, I fucked up.
Yeah, and I think Rand's gonna be upset about it because she did exactly what he wanted to.
The only thing I want from this scene for the show is I want them to film it like and edit it like old karate movies. Where it's like bam, 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 bam. No.
They're like
no.
tumbling
in the
into
style of Batman 66, the TV show.
No.
And it's like a comical. It's just like let it be funny. Let it be a hilarious moment of all these Aiel popping up out of all these places.
It is funny, yeah.
And like someone like riding down a flagpole and like just like make it a good comedy.
Someone
scene.
like stepping out from behind a chair, like.
Do it.
Yeah. I loved this moment. This was one of my favorite scenes.
So they go to Shadar Lagoth, and Rand's like, "Don't touch it." And then Leah, Leah, what did you do?
Do you think that Leah wandered off?
Yeah, you have to. She has to make the choice to touch something.
Or do you think she's a dark friend?
Oh.
Do you think? Look,
No, because then what is the value of her not being there?
Well, she now knows where the Waygate is.
Yeah, but they still can't get anything through it.
Sure, I don't know.
They
maybe
could get the Shido through it, but do you really want to run the Shido through Shadar Lagoth?
Well, no, I don't know. I don't know about the Shido, but I think she might be a dark friend. And like, I know Shadar Lagoth evil and the dark friend evil is like different kinds of evil, but like she might. I don't know. You
have this Aiel that's close to the Dragon Reborn. Why would you give up on that? Like, why would you lose that tactical advantage?
I don't
right?
know. I'm sure that there's several of them.
I don't know. I don't think there can be that many dark friends among the maidens. Because we already have Melhindra. If Leah's one, like, it gets to the point where it's like, how many of these girls are freaking...
Well, there's hundreds of them.
Yeah,
I don't know. It would make sense if there was a dozen.
It wasn't me. Sorry, Leah B. We didn't mean to imply anything.
Leah. Yeah, I don't know. It seemed sus. I don't think that... I don't know if she's dead. I think she'll be back.
Yeah. She makes Rand's list. That's true.
Yeah.
Very sad. So, yeah, Leah disappears, and Rand sets up a ward... A mean-ass ward on Shadar Lagoth, just like warding it so that the Shadow Spawn can't come through anymore.
Yeah.
They will die a horrible death.
A horrible death. I love
not
that.
An immediate death.
I loved it.
They will come through and be like, haha, we did it. And then like a day later, they'll all just be dead.
Yeah.
And like that, Rand?
That's some big brain.
That's some evil shit.
That's some big brain
That's
stuff.
dark.
You love to
I
see
approve.
it. So Rand drops off the Ogiers in the Two Rivers.
Yeah.
And he's like, all right.
So close to his old farm. And he's like, should I go see my dad? And he's like, I can't.
I know.
I can't.
Which it sucks, because like in the first book, he promised he would come back.
He will.
I think he will, yeah, but yeah.
I don't think he will for a few more books, though. I don't think he's going to see Two Rivers for a while. I think when him and his dad finally reunion, when he has his reunion with his dad, it's going to be when his dad dies. They're going to like meet on the battlefield, and he'll like hold his dad as he dies, and it'll be the last time they see each other.
No, Tam is not allowed to die.
Ooh, Tam's dead. Tam is going to die. And that's that chapter. Leah dies, they make Demons Field, and Rand goes back to Camelin. Yeah. It's very sad. They spend a lot of time looking for her. They try. They do. They make their best effort.
Yep.
But they don't accomplish it.
Yep, they gotta get out of there. So chapter 22 is Matt.
Oh my god, this chapter, y'all.
Matt is hanging out with his buds.
His boys.
When
he's hired a bunch of thieves to be his spies, which
brilliant. Absolutely.
Those voices in his head doing good work.
Brilliant. So one of them comes up and is like, hey, you should probably come see this. And it is a bunch of slaughtered tinkers. And tell the Dragon Reborn.
Tell him what?
We don't know.
Tell him. God damn it, dude. Tell him what?
Well, and here's the thing. It was written by like a tinker in its blood.
Yeah.
Do you think it's a warning? Like they saw something that he needs to know and just couldn't write it down in time.
Dead Iron, thank you so much for joining the Narcs for 2 months. Hey guys, not here in chat for long, but love you guys. Hope you're enjoying Lord of Chaos. We are.
Oh yes, absolutely.
And guys, like that smash button. Like that smash button.
Like that smash button. Let's go.
We will find out. It will be important. I think it will have to do with a Tinker prophecy, because there are so many Tinker prophecies. I think that'll come up. We just don't know yet.
I wonder if it's like a new kind of enemy. Like maybe it's those like twins we met at the beginning.
Oh, Erengar and Orengar?
Osengar, I think, yeah.
Or Agenor and Belthamel?
Yes.
I think it's them. I do think it's Agenor and Belthamel.
I think it might be, yeah.
I think because of where they died in proximity to the boar and whatnot, I think it makes sense.
Yeah.
I just feel like it would be weird for them to resurrect characters we never met the first time around. Like, I feel like it has to be people we knew, or else why make it a resurrection story?
Well,
what does that mean?
And Agenor gets brought up in this book by Graendal, or is it Graendal? And, like, his creations.
Yeah.
And he, like, made some weird stuff. And maybe he is back, and maybe they were attacked by a bunch of crazy animals.
But maybe he's the one in the female body, and that's why he's like, is this a joke? You put me in one of my own creations?
Why would... He didn't create females.
No. I'm saying that because you know how we were talking about how the female of the two of them was like, what is this joke, this body you've put me in?
Yeah.
What if it is Agenor being like, he's not upset that he's in a female body like we speculated last week. He is upset because he has been put into one of his own creations, and he thinks that like that is like debasing of him.
So he created like clones or something?
He might be the one who came up with the like idea of how to create that. Yeah, because that's what he did, right? That's what he's known for. And so he created these things, and then he wakes up and he finds himself in one of these things that he created. And he's like, oh my God. You know what I mean? Like, he just feels debased by that. As opposed to the idea that, because last week we were like, oh yeah, he's a guy who wakes up in a female body and is upset about it. I think that this would be a more sensical, like, why doesn't he?
Well, yeah, because like if you woke up in a female body, you'd be like, boobs, as any reasonable person would be. So
God, I love boobs.
Boobs are great.
Have you guys seen 2001's Scooby-Doo?
What?
There's a scene in that where Shaggy gets put in his body and he's like...
Yeah.
And I was like, this is a kid's movie.
Was it Shaggy or was it Fred?
Or was it Fred? I can't remember. It was one of the boys.
Anyways, yeah.
I haven't seen it in a long time. It's probably terrible. But it was written by James Gunn. Yeah.
Wow. I did not... know that. Yes.
Nerdy thinks women are shadow spawn. No, there was the female and the male bodies. Guys, come on.
No, it's just funny. It's just funny.
Unless you are a super misogynist.
For what? I missed the first half of that comment.
Yeah, I don't know what that's in reference to.
I don't know.
Boobs?
Boobs!
Anyway, Matt's chilling. And he does spend a little bit of time thinking about Tom Maryland, which I thought was sweet.
No females till Agenor took loose rib.
Okay. Guys, you know what I fucking meant. Why am I being bullied?
No, it's fun.
Why am I being bullied?
Sorry. I think that they were attacked by some like horrible monstrosity, and they wanted to let the dragon know, and they did not. They were not able to.
So Matt goes back to his camp, and he's like, guys, we're gonna stop for today. We're gonna
chill.
And everyone's upset. He sends people to go bury the Tinkers.
Yeah.
Which is just hard. I can't imagine. He's like, you know what? I can't go to bed. I'm gonna go do. He pulled a me. This is what I did last night.
Mm-hmm.
I couldn't sleep last night, and so at about 2:45 in the morning, I went for a walk around the neighborhood, and I looked at the stars.
Yep. And then you didn't get ambushed by the Aiel.
Yeah, I didn't get ambushed by the Aiel. So he's like literally lying down on the ground, and he looks over, and there's just a bunch of Aiel breaking into his tent, and he's just kind of laying there like,
interesting. Cool.
Should I let people know?
Yeah, it's like, how do I want to go about this?
I just love him being like, so if I yell now, they'll get to me before my team gets to me. Nah, I'm gonna go for it. So he picks up his spear, starts yelling. The Aiel come and attack him, kills a couple. His people show up, and he's like, I'm good. I'm gonna go walk over here.
Can deal with the rest of them. I don't need to.
He just leaves the fight.
Yeah, he's like, I don't give a shit.
It's the most Matt thing ever.
Yes.
So he gets through the fight, and he's looking around his tent. He sees some strings were cut, but it looks like they were severed too cleanly.
Yeah, he's like, oh, it must be a portal.
Someone portaled in the Shido.
That was a bit of a leap for me.
It was a bit of a leap for me as well.
Bit of a leap, but you know what, Taviran, I
wish that they said like, oh, there was like a residue or just something more than just like, oh, that was too clean a cut for it to be.
Yeah. I was like, all right, sure.
And so he's chilling.
He is chilling.
When he is stumbled upon by a little boy. A little boy you had a prediction about.
Yeah. Yeah, I like, he's super ugly.
Mm-hmm.
And so I think that it's Gaidal, I think is his name?
Brigitte's boy.
Brigitte's boy.
You might be right.
He's an ugly ass child.
The only question I have about you said that, and I was like, I don't know. The reason I don't know is because I know the dream world time works differently, but I don't think the dream world can happen retroactively.
Yeah, you were like, well, the timeline is weird because he was just born kind of recently, but he's 9 years old, or so he claims to be. But yeah, did Robert Jordan mention that Oliver is ugly? At least 7 times. That's the only reason. It feels very like...
Because there can only be one ugly man.
Yes, there's only one ugly man.
Especially in a Netflix TV show. Jesus. There's only ever one ugly man.
Yeah. Yeah, so I think he was born in the timelines in Teleron Riyadh and in the real world don't line up exactly.
But we met him in Teleron Riyadh, so he would have to have been, like, he would have to be born back in time from when we met him. It would be weird.
That's what I mean. Like, it's wibbly wobbly timey-wimey. It's not linear. So,
okay.
Yeah. So, I don't know. That's kind of what I thought, because...
You might be right. I'm sure we'll find out.
They make a point of him being real ugly. So, yeah. So
I just want Brigitte to see him go like, oh, that's
it's a cute child.
That's a boy. That's my guy. I'm going to wait. I'm gonna wait till he turns 18.
Yeah.
Let's not pull a Game of Thrones. We don't need any of that shit in this series, Robert Jordan.
Thank you. So yeah, he Matt hires Oliver to, carry his messages for him and stuff, which is cute.
And Oliver's so happy he's gonna get a horse.
Yeah,
I'm so excited.
He's gonna get his own horse.
Do you think it's gonna be Bella?
No, it's not Bella.
He needs a little horse, and Bella's a little horse.
Bella's not a little horse. Bella's just a sturdy horse.
No, but Bella's smaller than, like, the other horses in the series.
Smaller than, like, a stallion, maybe.
Well, it's why they give her to, Egwene, right? It's because she's small. She's a smaller horse.
Well, not necessarily
You need a child-sized horse.
Not necessarily smaller. It's that Bella is more sturdy and less, frisky. And not in the sexual sense. In the, like, when horses frisk, you know?
When horses frisk.
Yeah.
My new memoir. When horses frisk.
You know what I mean. You know what I mean.
you know, when horses frisk.
Yeah, like Bella.
What does frisk mean? It's
when they, like, prance around. They get, like, all frisky. I don't know what you guys... Chat knows what I'm talking about. They get like, they not anxious, but, like, excited.
Isn't frisking when you, like, pat someone down to see if they have stuff on them? You're frisking them.
I have never heard that. Yeah, Bella is docile.
When a horse checks you for guns. Mike Kioski gets it.
Oh my god. No, because, like, Rand talks about Cloud frisking in book 1.
I think frisk and frisky is one of those words that people just use to mean a bunch of different things.
Oh, shut up, sex monkey. No, you guys know what I mean. Yeah, horses, yeah.
Fidgeting, I would say, yeah.
Horses don't fidget, though. They frisk.
Doesn't frisky mean that you're, like, horny?
If you're a human.
Frisky?
Yes, if you're a human, getting frisky. Risky, frisky business.
So frisky means horny, frisking means searching.
Frisk is cat food.
And when horses frisk is something else?
Yes.
Horses are employed by the TSA in Randland. You just said, when horses frisk. Yeah. As if that was a normal thing to say. And I'm a little bit lost.
No, it is an absolutely normal thing to say. When horses are, like, not docile, they're frisky. I'm trying to think of another word.
I love that you're like, horses are either super chill or they are erect. They are horny motherfuckers. Glenn, thank you for that super chat.
Glenn, thank you for the super chat.
He says we're both right.
Yeah. No, it's a thing.
When horses, when they frisk.
When they prance around.
What does this have to do with Oliver?
Because you said Bella, and that's why Bella was given to Egwene because she's small. And I'm like, no, Bella's not small. She's like a plow horse. She's just not like
Bella
a
is canonically
stallion.
Small.
No, she's not.
Yes, she is.
No,
she is canonically smaller than the other horses they leave Emmons Field with.
No, she is a plow horse. They say that she's a smaller horse. When they're leaving with Bella in the first book, they're like, Bella is like a slightly smaller horse than, because you've got these big stallions. Right? And then Bella's like a more, like, normal-sized horse. So she's not like a, like, plow stallion, right? Yes, she is. She is literally
she's like a farm pull horse. It's very different.
No, those things are muscly.
But I worked on farms. I know what they are. I've ridden the horses.
Thank you, Joshua. Horses frisk. Thank you. No, like
I've worked on farms. I literally grew up in Cowtown, Alberta.
But like she's not a
I've
pony.
never once heard someone say that a horse was frisking.
You've never heard that before? No, okay.
I'm not saying you're wrong. I'm just saying that this conversation cracked me up.
Bella's not like a war horse, right? She's not the size of a stallion, but she's not a small horse because a small horse is just a pony.
Desi says $5 to move on to cow talk.
That is the side of TikTok I've never been
So
on.
Graendal and Samael hang out for a bit. And Samael found a stasis box, which had technology from the past in it. And cool, that's a thing now. How many more stasis boxes do you think we're gonna find in this series?
I don't know. I can't believe that was where the conversation. Anyways, I'm sorry. Yes, a stasis box. Is that like? I guess it's like a time capsule that like we humans fill with things and put in the ground and dig up 20 years later.
Yes.
Cool.
This chapter got a little bit
sci-fi.
In a way that I was like, I don't understand what's going on. Because then they throw on the word straith a lot, STREITH, and I was like, Samael's like, oh, you found something with some straith in it, and I was like, yeah, she did.
Sure. Yeah.
Cool. I hope this comes back later because I'm confused.
Wheel up time. Get out of here. How dare you?
But Samael makes the reveal to Graendal that he has found a cachet of Angriels.
Yes.
Which is dangerous.
Well, he says he has. You know, he's like, I'm going to take my pick and then you can have the leftovers.
I don't know. I believe him.
I think he found something. Obviously, he's playing it up.
I wonder if it's the bowl in Ebu Dar and he doesn't know what it does.
He found the bowl?
Like, I wonder if there's going to be a race to the bowl.
Oh.
Like, I wonder if he knows where it is, but he hasn't been to it yet. Well, and so I wonder if him, Nynaeve, and Elaine are going to, like, race to the bowl.
He found a treasure map with the bowl. Yeah. X marks the spot. Yes. Yes.
The straith dress was introduced in the last section. Sure. Oh, no. I get that I get that, like, straith is, like...
mood ring dress?
Yeah, I just... Oh, yeah. Is straith what the warders' cloaks are made out of?
Probably a variation of that.
Oh, okay. Actually, that makes sense.
Because it changes, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Cool. And he also says that he's made a truce with Rand. And so Graendal's like,
Yes, he says he has.
So she fears that the Dark One promised to make him the nipples. And so we finally get to find out some more information. Graendal actually does think that Asmodean and Lanfear are dead.
Yes.
And she reveals that Missana is in the tower.
The White Tower.
Do you think it's Alviera in the White?
I was thinking that.
I don't think it can be, right? Because she hasn't been there long enough.
What do you mean? We don't know how long she's been there. She could have been a White for 300 years, and we wouldn't know.
How? She was in the ground. She was in the boar. She was sealed up, sleeping.
Oh, you mean Missana. Well, I don't know. We don't know when in the timeline the Forsaken started coming out.
Yeah, we do.
When?
Recently.
What year?
Like recently. Recently enough that they wouldn't have time to have found Alviarin as a child and raise her. Like, because everyone in the tower knows her, right? Like, it would be weird for her to just show up.
So maybe Missana then is one of the Wilders. Maybe Missana. Who was the Wilder?
Tarna?
Yeah, isn't Tarna a Wilder?
No, because she's not in the tower. She's been like traveling for months.
Oh,
right.
Well,
it would be too hard to hide because she's traveling with warders on like official duty. I don't think. Yeah, I don't think that's possible.
So, do you think Missana is Elsa Grindwell?
No.
No, she's not an Aes Sedai.
Yeah.
Darn it. So do we think she's in the big tower or the little tower?
She's in the big tower. We know that because where she tortured the Aes Sedai last week.
That's Cimaraj. Cimaraj tortured the Aes Sedai. Missana, I also think, is in the big tower because she would have recognized Mogadeen.
You're right. No, you're right. Oh, yeah. No, there can't be any Forsaken in Salad Bar.
Yeah, I don't think any of the Forsaken are in the little tower. I think it's the big tower.
There are two of them in the big tower? Missana and Cimaraj?
No, Cimaraj tortured them in not Shia Ghul. Shia Ghul, yeah. She was in Shia Ghul when she tortured them.
Okay, yeah.
Yes.
Interesting. I'm excited to find out where Demandred is. He's the one I'm like...
Yeah.
So Samael, she pieces out, and then we get a very quick little point of view of Samael being like, did it. Manipulated her. I'ma be the nipples.
Maybe Masana is
I'ma be the nipples.
I'ma be the nipples. It's the speaker for the Reds.
Yeah. No. She's. I think she's
Galena?
in the tower. I don't think she would go out.
You don't think?
I think it's like
think Galena would go scope out Rand under the guise of the White Tower?
Oh no, I think she would. I don't think that Masana is Galena.
I guess if she's only been free for like 5 years.
Because she would have had to have lived her whole life in the tower. Everybody knows her. She's been in the tower for like 90 years.
Yeah, unless
right?
she's not actually Aes Sedai in the tower, unless she's like hiding in the tower.
I think Masana is like a maid. Like Moghedien was in Tenchiko.
Maybe. I was gonna say maybe she's the cook.
Wait! No!
She's the
not Linny. Oh my god, what if she's the chef? Masana the chef.
What was her name? Who took an interest in Min?
Yeah.
And like trained well, cause she kept dropping hints for all these stories that like she got into shit when she was a kid.
Laris! Is Laris a fucking Forsaken? That's the funniest shit ever! If that is true, that is the funniest. That is the best possible use of that character.
I would love that so much.
Oh my god.
Please make it be true. Please, oh my god. That's so funny. Anyways, yeah. Mm-hmm.
That is so funny. Oh my god, can you imagine if it's Laris? I will lose my shit.
That would be very funny, yeah.
Chapter 24.
Anyways, moving on.
Egwene. Mostly because we have to move on. We're at 2.5 hours already.
I know, I'm
and
so
we
sorry.
have not even gotten to the attack.
I'm so sorry.
And we haven't even gotten to this chapter where Egwene, Egwene is like in town.
Yeah.
She's like trying to spy. She's trying to listen to rumors and shit.
Yeah. There's a lot of power being used where the Aes Sedai are staying. Because the embassy of the Aes Sedai arrives for Rand, and there's 2 Reds, which we know for a fact are Black Aja. Shocking, I know. And they're staying with a noble in the city as opposed to in the palace itself.
Yeah.
And Egwene can sense a lot of power being channeled in there, and she's not sure why. So she tries to, spy, and can't, really, unfortunately.
Well, first she tells the wise ones that they've arrived. And she gives some advice to the wise ones on how to deal with them and what she knows of them.
She's like, this is what I know about these people. I know it's not much, but it's something, right?
Yeah, and so she joins them in the sweat tent, but then some boys show up, and she's like, no, my titties, oh, my titties, not my titties. And then she goes and she dreams about having sex with Gawain. Lord of Chaos, chapter 25. Like lightning and rain.
Is this when this is when she tries to spy.
Yeah.
Sorry, I
First she has to be walked in on in the sweat tent, then she can spy.
I thought this was all one chapter because it's all very similar stuff. But yeah, she spies on them, and then one of them comes. She runs away because she thinks she might have been spotted, and she literally runs into Gawain, not sees him.
Well, first she
runs into
channels. No, we can't skip over the channeling. She tries to eavesdrop on them, and with
Moiraine's trick.
Yeah, and
she's not very good at
they
it.
Do catch her. They notice the channeling.
They notice
we find
the
out
channeling.
later.
Yes.
It's important.
Yes.
They think that, and so they think Moiraine's still alive, which is super interesting.
Mm-hmm.
And Catherine Sedai tells Lady Colliver that they intend to take Rand to Tarvalin. Sorry.
Tarvalin.
To go by Michael Reading or Michael Kramer's reading of it.
I hate that pronunciation.
And we get this kind of series of characters we don't know. Where Catherine is talking to Lady Colliver about how there's going to be a vacuum of power in Cairhien, and then Nasun Sedai is talking to High Lord Malin that there's going to be a balance of power. Yeah,
they are literally trying to kick the hornet's nest right now.
Mm-hmm.
That is, they are sowing the seeds of chaos. And am I surprised? No, they're Black Aja.
And so the I said I hear about the rumors of a Green who's working with
the wise ones.
With the wise ones.
And they don't think Moiraine is dead.
No, they think that Moiraine is pretending to be a Green.
Yeah.
And they're like, how dare she fake her act?
Blasphemy. Oh, well, I find it super interesting that the one white perspective, the one of the whites' perspective we get was a friend of Moiraine's who knew her, who actually liked her, and she stayed with the tower despite everything that happened.
Well, no, but they knew each other when they were accepted. But then once
Sure,
they
but
became
she
Aes Sedai,
likes-
Moraine. But this is the story of Moraine.
Yes.
She had friends, and then she became a
she
full Aes
fucked up.
Sedai, and she fucked off.
Yeah. It was
But-
just an interesting perspective as opposed to just being like they all are like towards her, you know.
Yeah.
So then
on the street, Egwene runs into Gawain.
literally runs into it.
She's just there.
I thought when I read this, she had run into a wall by accident and hit her head and was dreaming, and that Gawain had showed up.
Well, or that she was in Teleran Riyadh.
Yes.
Yeah.
I legit was like, there's no way she literally like barreled head first into this guy. But that's exactly what happened.
So they run into an inn, and they get a private room. And then Gawain is like, I fucking hate Rand. He killed my mom. And Egwene's like, no, he did not. No.
I'm gonna prove it to you.
He's like, well, he killed my sister. No, she's fine. She's actually,
good.
she's more than good. She's doing great. Elaine is like surviving and thriving.
Yeah.
She's the most powerful Terangriel creator on Earth. Egwene is Gucci, my dude.
Or Elaine. Elaine is
Gucci.
Yeah.
And he's like, fine, well, but what do you need from me? And she's like,
I love you.
She's like, I need that dick, boy.
Yeah.
Drop trow.
She like opens her mouth to say something else. She's like, I love you. The pen is blue. Is literally Egwene in this moment. She's like,
yeah.
I love you. I love you. I love you.
So they make out a little bit. It's cute. They have a little moment. And then she's like, hey, I need you to do a couple things for me. Don't tell anyone I'm here. He's
have
like,
a list.
I won't.
Yeah.
I love you too. You don't love Glad? Cool.
Poor Galad. Sucks to be him.
And then also, I need you to like maybe come hang out. I'll walk into the city. We'll have a little morning date.
She's like, this is when I'll be around, and he's like, I probably can't make it immediately and every time, but I will maybe join you as often as I can. And I was like, oh, my heart.
And so Gawain,
yes.
Gawain and Egwene are not going to end up together.
Don't say that.
I think this might be the last happy moment they have together.
Stop it. I like them, okay?
I know, but the speed at which their relationship moved forward. Look, Robert Jordan, I feel like I'm starting to get the feeling that Robert Jordan likes to write dramatic things. He likes to lean into the drama. And so I feel like he wouldn't have let them come together this quickly if it wasn't about to immediately fall apart. And so I think that this book, at some point in this book, and I think it will be soon when the Aes Sedai hatch their plan to kidnap Rand, I think that Gawain and Rand are going to come to blows in this book.
No. But here's the thing. If he loves Egwene and Egwene is like, look, I promise Rand did not kill them. Let me prove it to you. I think that Gawain trusts her enough to let her, like, convince him.
I hear you, but duty's heavier than a mountain.
Wow.
That's the thing, right? I think that duty is heavier than a mountain, and...
Anyways, the Aes Sedai are definitely setting a trap for Rand.
Oh, yeah, they're channeling constantly in there. I don't know what they're building, but...
Yeah. They're building a Fortnite, and it's going to be huge.
Do you know what this made me think of, actually?
What?
Okay, so during the Frieza arc of Dragon Ball Z,
There is
a multiple episode plot where Goku is building a spirit bomb in the sky. And so other things are happening, but every time they go to Goku, he's just in the sky going, ah, ah, and he builds the spirit bomb for multiple episodes because anime has this thing called filler where there's a lot of episodes where nothing happens. Goku building the spirit bomb is like the meme of all memes. I think it takes him like 4 hours of television to build the spirit bomb in the sky. It's a giant ball. And then,
oh my god.
Yeah, Malefic's is like, it's literally like 10 episodes of him yelling. I'm not joking. I'm not making this up. And he's just like, ah! And then he finally unleashes it. I think that's what they're doing. I think that the Aes Sedai are building the spirit bomb in Kyrian to launch at Rand.
All right.
Not realizing that Frieza has another form that she can turn into, and the fight will continue until Goku can go to the next level of Super Saiyan, where his hair gets longer and has a different color.
Oh my god. I definitely think, yeah, they're concocting something, because they're also waiting for more Aes Sedai sisters to show up.
Yeah,
right?
13.
They didn't want to show up with 13, but they're gonna have 13.
They're sneaking them in.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, I have a feeling that Rand is going to get kidnapped.
Yeah.
Here, can I predict what's going to happen?
Yes.
Rand is going to get kidnapped because the Aiel hesitate.
Because
they don't want to fight the Aes
don't
Sedai.
want to fight the Aes Sedai because they're bad. Yes.
The Aiel are going to hesitate. Rand's going to get kidnapped because of it, and it is going to destroy the Aiel. This is going to be the breaking of them because they're going to have to actually change their concept of Giotto to allow them to fight back against the Aes Sedai fight them to get Rand back.
Because they even in the moments we've read earlier in the book, some of the Aiel were like, even if you were to fight me and kill me right now, like I wouldn't do anything to stop you, right? Mm-hmm. And so some of them, they're gonna have to be. They're gonna have to revisit that idea. I
think that they're going to fail Rand the way they failed the Aes Sedai, and that is going to be how he gets kidnapped. Yeah.
No, I can see that happening for sure. There's definitely going to be something, and I hope that it is not Kyrian just blowing up, but he is breaking the world again. So
here's where things get a little weird. Rand goes and he has to go watch this drill. He's been putting off watching this drill. He's been saying like I'll do it tomorrow for like days. Yeah. He goes to watch the drill. And apparently the Saldean army are acrobats. They're like not doing military drills. They're like doing Cirque du Soleil for him.
Which is great. Love it. We all need entertainment.
Honestly, I can't wait for the scene on the show. Like this will be really cool. The tricks on the horses. I'm excited for this.
Yeah.
Just film it at the Calgary Stampede.
Yeah. Wait, and this is when we meet...
Dira.
Yeah.
Dira, Davram Bashir's wife, who is...
She doesn't really do anything, but I'm here for it.
You meet Davram Bashir and you're like, that man's never been pegged. And then you meet his wife and you're like, that man
has been pegged, yeah.
And you know what? She crushed it. Like, she did a great job.
Yes, the horses were frisking. That's why they made it that much more entertaining.
Anyway, Rand runs back to Camelin.
Yep, and he's ambushed by White Cloaks.
Yeah, and he's almost killed. He like catches a glint of the sniper rifle, and he stops the bullet in the air.
Sniper rifle.
Flicks it off into the distance. Oh. And then a second bolt comes at him, and an Aiel woman tackles him off of his horse, saves his gosh darn life, unfortunately. Desora, another Aiel maiden, dies for Rand. Another woman on the list. And there's a big fight. And the Aiel win because they're the gosh darn Aiel.
They're the Aiel, and it's in the middle of the street, yeah. And they capture some of the WOTchers.
Yeah, and not only do they capture someone, they give him a name because Robert Jordan can't introduce a character. They can't just be like, oh, the White Cloak that we caught. No, it's Demir Faral.
So my question, do you think that the White Cloaks were sent by Pedronile, or do you think they were sent by Padden Fane?
Pedronile.
I don't.
Why?
Because Niall wants it is plotting with Morghese, right? Like, he doesn't want Rand dead. He's literally said, like, put the lion in the streets and people will come running to us to save them.
Yeah, but I still think he has, like, I don't know. That was something he might have said recently. He might have sent them 2 months ago, right? They would have had to have traveled, like...
Maybe.
I don't know. I get the vibe that they actually come from. Maybe they come from Padden Fane, but they definitely come from the White Cloaks. It may not be straight from Padden Fane or from Pedronile, but they come from someone within the White Cloaks. You know what I mean? I don't think it's a ruse. If it's Padden Fane's White Cloaks, then it still comes from like the higher ups of the White Cloaks.
Sure, yeah. But yeah, I found it very interesting because I feel like Pedronile is like way more clever than just like some crossbows on rooftops.
It might also not be like the White Cloaks had direct orders to do this. They might have just seen the Dragon Reborn
and just tried to kill him. No.
And been like, he doesn't, because he's not in public very often, right?
No, the White Cloak hierarchy, they would absolutely not do that unless they had orders to. No,
I don't know. There's a piece of me that feels like Padden Fane wants to kill Rand himself. Like, I feel like Padden Fane's the kind of character who would be disappointed if it wasn't his sword that kills Rand.
Okay, so you know then I mean? Do you think that it was the Dark Friend White Cloak, maybe?
I don't know. They were in grimy clothes, right? They were in, like,
they were
dirty...
in cloaks, but they weren't like clean.
Like these things, like White Cloaks and grimy clothes. They probably are Padden Fane's White Cloaks then.
I don't know.
Yeah. Anyway, Rand gets back to the castle. He's fine. He's upset about Desora, but like, you know, he's fine. And
Yeah, he's upset about it a little bit.
He's the ship, the wave mistress wants to see him. But we didn't get that this week.
I know. Oh my god. I was literally like, I cannot wait.
I wanted it. We didn't get it this week.
I know. Do you think it's the one that we met before? That Tarlane?
I hope so.
Yeah, I hope so too. Yeah.
And then I
want them to both be like, Elaine's hot, isn't she? Like.
Yeah. Do you think she's wearing a shirt, or do you think he walks in and she's nipples out and he's like, oh my god?
They make a point of wearing shirts when they're near.
I don't know. She might do it to throw him off.
Maybe.
Use it to her advantage. And then Rand is like, I'll see her tomorrow. Or no, I'll see her in the afternoon. For now, send in Lady Elenia. I want to learn about Andor. And the only reason this scene exists is so that Rand can have a brief moment where he's like, oh my god, have I been getting horny for my stepsister? Nope, you're fine.
You're fine.
You're Gucci,
good.
dude.
Thank you for including that, Robert Jordan. It put me at ease.
But they are cousins, in that all Andorians are cousins.
Titties out for the wave mistress. I love that she's like, so my claim to the throne, because I have this many threads. And I was shut up. Like, I was Rand in that moment.
Okay, we did it in under 3 hours. I didn't think we were going to pull that one out, but that's it. This chapter was kind of fine. The attack, like, we're getting to the point where, like, these attacks, until he fights Samael or the Aes Sedai, I'm always just kind of like, yeah, of course he wins. He has magic, and the Aiel are these, like, god warriors.
Well, and that's why I don't think we spend, like, so much time.
Robert Jordan breezes through them, yeah.
Yeah, I think it's, like, well done. It does a good job of establishing stuff without dwelling on it, right?
Yeah.
I think it's very clever.
I didn't think you were going to pull out either, Nerdy. I don't pull out very often, but...
Jesus Christ.
It's because I'm very comfortable wearing a condom. That's right. Today's episode is brought to you by Prophylactics. If you're going to have sex, do it safely.
Oh my god. We should see if we can get sponsored by, like, Trojan or something.
Safely and with consent. The Nerdy Nightly story. The
Nerdy Nightly story. Oh my god. Is that going to be our, like, the Nerdy Nightly, like, autobiography?
Safely and with consent, the Nerdy Nightly story?
The story of Nerdy Nightly.
Oh, man.
Oh, man.
You know what? Our podcast is pretty dirty, so make sure that you clean and wrap your headphones before you put them in your ears when listening to this show.
If you haven't cleaned your headphones in a while, this is your sign to clean your headphones.
You know what's another good reason to clean your headphones? Audible. Audible is a service where you can listen to things that are almost as naughty as our podcast. Audible is a service where people will read things and you will hear them if you pay for them.
Mm-hmm. Audible, where you can browse through lists and lists of things and have crippling anxiety about making decisions because you only have so many Audible credits.
Audible, where you will look at how long a book is in order to determine if that's what you want your monthly credit to go to, because you're not wasting that credit on a 6-hour book.
Hell no!
You want a long-ass book to use an Audible credit on? It, by Stephen King. Do children have an orgy in it? Yes. Is it a good book other than that? Mostly.
I've never read a Stephen King novel, and I don't want to now.
There's some really good ones.
Okay.
It's not my favorite. The child orgy does make it weird.
Audible, not made for Libras.
audibletrial.com/nerdynightly is the link to go to. Thank you to everyone who has been going to it. Mm-hmm. I've been reading your comments, and I do genuinely really appreciate it because I like paying my bills on time.
Yay!
Although, can I be honest? We have not received a cent from Audible yet.
Well, no, it's sitting in a wallet that we have to pay out.
No, it's not even in that.
Oh.
It's the process of how we get paid is very long. It's very complicated. We will eventually get money from it. We just haven't gotten any yet because it's there's a multi-step process. I don't know, whatever. It does not matter.
We have a section to do.
We do. It's time for High Low. This is imitation of my childhood dinner table where we would go around, say our highs and lows from the days to celebrate our highs and to commiserate over our lows. It brings us together as a family. The family of the Wheel of Time fandom now does High Low, where Clarisse goes first with her high, and then we do our lows, and then I do my high, so we can drop a compliment sandwich in Robert Jordan's skeleton at this point, I guess. He's been dead for 20 years.
What a waste of a sandwich.
I'm not I wish he was alive. I'm not saying that. I just,
My high for this section, I kind of already spoiled it for you guys, but was picturing the Aiel all swinging into the throne room. And,
let's get down to business.
And literally picturing how it would happen in the show. And they're all just faces where they're like, wait, what?
Yeah.
the like moments of confusion and Rand being like, that was weird, and so he was like, yeah, I told them that the Khan was in danger and we needed to leave right away, so I did it.
All right, that means it's time for my low. And unlike some recent weeks, this was tough. I don't really have like any like real lows this week.
Yeah.
I don't have any like major highs either. Like it was kind of a more tame section.
Mid, yeah.
But there's nothing that I really disliked. I thought that this was a really fun week. If I had to pick something, I would. Some of this stuff in the school felt a little bit on the nose. Like, I feel like he could have, like, hinted at it without it being quite so, like, related to our history of technology. Like, Steam is going to be a big deal. Wink, wink, haha. Like, it just felt a little bit like that to me.
See, that was in competition for my high.
Oh, really? The scene in the library is definitely in competition for my high, but not the, like, look at all these inventions that you know are all going to work out because they're all real things in our world.
Yeah.
I don't know. I would have liked a couple more in there that were like dumb and like were never going to be anything, but they all seemed like pretty.
Yeah.
They're like, we have all these inventions and all of them are actually like really smart ideas. I would have liked a couple of like, they found out that if they plug these two things into a potato, fire, and you're like, oh, okay.
Sure. My low is Sienna in the chat kind of on the same brain cell was, the whole, like, not the linking itself, I thought that part was beautifully written, but the idea of the Aes Sedai being like, it's Samael and we have a plan, and their plan is dumb. Like, because they don't understand what they're up against yet, they don't really know what's going on, they refuse to listen to people who actually know what they're talking about, and it's well written, obviously, that's not the low of it. The low of it is like, goddamn, the Aes Sedai are fucking stupid.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Which leads to my high, and my high's so easy. It's so obvious. It's one of my highs of the whole series so far, and it's Loyal's mom. I fucking love her.
Yeah.
I love her browbeating Elder Haman, too. Yeah. Like, we didn't really get into it too much, because, you know, there's not a lot to talk about there, but, like, just what a character. Brought me joy. You heard me. I got so excited, and then I didn't want to spoil it for you.
Yeah.
It's like, sometimes I'll be like, oh, like, this is kind of happening. Like, I'll be vague about it. I didn't even want to vague book that.
No.
You know what I mean? So I was like, no, you have to read it. I was so excited when she showed up. I loved her. I loved all the Ogier stuff. That whole chapter was really good.
I can't wait to get... I'm hoping in the next section that we go back to the Two Rivers.
I can't wait to have Loyal's mom find out that he wields a weapon in battle. That he, like, is a fighter.
Yeah.
It's gonna be interesting.
That's gonna be fun.
Do you think we're gonna see, do you think Loyal's in the Two Rivers?
Oh, I guess it depends if Perrin...
Because at the beginning of the book, Perrin was leaving. Do you think that... Do they get there and they have to chase Perrin... Or they have to chase Loyal back to Rand? Because that's where Perrin and Loyal are headed? I
think we're gonna get a map like we do in The Emperor's New Groove. Where you see the two, like, tracks together.
Or do you think that, like, start of the next reading, Perrin and Loyal show up, and Rand's like, oh, fuck, I just dropped your mom off.
Oh, yeah, that would be very funny.
Dude, no. I literally just dropped your mom off.
Yeah, that would be very funny.
That would be funny.
Maybe he'll go get them, because it doesn't take him that much time, right? I don't know. It's fun, yeah. Yeah.
All right, and with that, y'all, it is time to get out of here. We will Smut Corner, but first, we have to tell you that you should like and subscribe to this channel. Hit that like button. Ring the notification bell so that when we go live, you're like, oh my god, they're live. It notified me.
Yes.
Thanks, YouTube. If you are a fan of The Sandman, as I am, there's going to be a lot of Sandman reactions going up. We're going to do all 10 episodes, starting with one in a few hours.
Yeah.
Once I can get that edited and up. But yeah, I'm hoping to put up a Sandman reaction every day for the next 10 days.
Yes.
So we can get through the entire first season. I love that show, and I don't know if I love the show yet. I love the comic. I really hope the show doesn't let me down. If you want to follow us around the internet, you can. I'm at Nerdy Nightly.
And I'm at Claris Polaris.
And as always, y'all, if you don't like Smut Corner, do something nerdy tonight. Katarina, thank you for that super chat.
Thank you for that super chat.
Just arrives, we'll start from the beginning.
You'll get here eventually.
It's a good place to start.
We have a lot of theories this episode, so you're gonna enjoy it, I hope.
Thank you for that. Before we get out of here, Clarus.
Yes.
I feel like that wasn't a good enough thank you. Katarina, thank you so much for that.
Thank you.
Clarus. Where would you have added a sex scene into this sex-filled section?
I was gonna say, it's so smutty, guys. So smutty already.
Yeah.
I had one. Oh, I already added it in the middle of the show, though, so I have to come up with a new one. new smut corner is... Do you have one? I said one in the middle of the show, and I should have saved it to the end. That was my bad.
I think like Rand trying to like find time to like masturbate a little bit, but like Avienda's always there, and so it's not like a 2-person smut corner. It's just like Rand is like trying to find a good place to jack off.
Oh,
because he's a little blue ballsy.
That's why he keeps portaling away.
Yeah, he's a little blue ballsy, and I think that Rand is like constantly just trying to find a place to jack off.
Fair enough, I guess.
He's looking around at those inventions like, did any of these help me get off? Oh no.
My smut corner is there's definitely an invention in the school of a vibrator.
Yeah.
That you know, Robert Jordan just cleverly left out.
Well, it's hard not to make the Oath Rod look like a cock, so.
Exactly. Yeah. And so if the Oath Rods exist, you know that somebody is working on dildos and vibrators. That is has to be true.
You know somebody is.
Yes. Yeah. Of course. Exactly. I also would love to add a smut corner for Graendal and Samael, because things got spicy. Yeah,
I have a feeling they've boned down.
Oh, they have boned down, and they may not bone down again before Samael dies. But
Sir Jimis, he portals away his cum so he doesn't get caught. I would love it. The Sanchin are just like walking in the woods one day, and they just find this like place where like Rand dumps all of his semen.
No.
What the fuck happened here?
No.
Whose horse is that? I think the horses are frisking each other. I think this week's Smut Corner is
brought to you by frisking.
A little animal husbandry.
Oh my god. Steam powered vibrator. Thanks, I hate that.
Some of the acrobats, definitely when the Saldaeans, when Davrin Bashir shows up, he's like, here, watch what my men can do on their horses. And you know there's a couple of men who are like doing like a standing 69 on the back of one of the horse.
Yeah, I was literally about to say standing 69.
He portals it into the boar.
That's how he plugs the Dark One's boar. Because the Dark One's like, I will not wade through this.
It's so sticky, I can't get out.
I can't get out.
The smell.
Ew, that's disgusting.
Oh my god, that is so funny.
Yeah, I get that.
No, he just drops it in Ilion on Samael. Every morning, Samael wakes up and there's just like splooge around the castle.
He's like, what is this? Is there a leak somewhere? Disgusting.
All right, that's our show. Thank you all for watching the Nerdy Ready Book Club. Come back next week when we'll be discussing chapters 27 through 37. And hopefully our neighbors will not be having major construction done during the show.
Hopefully. We guarantee nothing.
Do something nerdy tonight, y'all.
Oh, join the Discord as well. That's my last thing. Thank you, mods. You guys are the best. And
yes, the mods are truly the best. Fabu, enjoy your wrench. We finally figured it out, and you got it.